Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another week, another edition of the Sparkling Tuna Cup, the STC, week number 107. I'm of course VIP. With me, I'm joined by the amazing players, by the people in chat, and by my plushies as well. Welcome, one and all. It has been. I was said far too long. I just finished streaming. I just finished laddering for like 1.5 hours. It's been far too long since that had ever happened. It's been like 2 months, Bobby. It's been like 2 months. The smudge was real, Bobby. But it's all good. I'll try to stream a little bit more often. Moving forward, I'll try. Emphasis on that, as we've been very busy as of late. But we'll see. Regardless, welcome one and all to our weekly open tournament. Exclamation mark B in the chat if you guys want to have a look back yourselves. The bracket is live, the bracket is stacked. Also, I'm sure people are going to ask, so you can let them know that this event is going to be on the current iteration of the game. We are not going to be playing on the PTR yet, but I believe moving forward we'll do our best to host the rest of our tournaments on the PTR to test out the balance changes, as we are getting some updates and actually new changes on the PTR on potentially even a regular basis. We'll see, we'll find out. For now, we're jumping in and spawning on the top side of Last Fantasy. We have the blue Zerg player. It is Wayne. And spawning in the bottom side of Last Fantasy, we have the red Zerg player, himself. It is YoungYakov. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are now open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our ZVZ. Do have Wayne and YoungYakov facing off in the first round. A brutal matchup for the first round, not gonna lie. For not the admin for pitting together both Zerg players, both the top Zerg players, they're knocking each other out. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. But here we go. We did have a delayed gas opener, so a gases opener out of YoungYakov, hatch gas pull out of Wayne, standard opener out of our blue Zerg player, but an earlier spawning pull out of YoungYakov. This might just be because of the map itself. Welcome to Last Fantasy, 3-player spawn map. It can be difficult to scout early on, so maybe just a safety precaution in case there was a 12. So a bit of a safer start here at YoungYakov. The downside is late gas, late link speed in comparison to Wayne, as gases are mined as we speak and get into much faster link speed. Let's go. So I see some players doing double duty with Wardy's PTR. Yeah, unfortunately, Wardy, he did actually book his event over ours. So it's unfortunately there's going to be some overlapping there. It all feels bad, man. That might negatively impact our tournaments. It probably did impact some signups, and it might also impact some forfeits later on as well. So we'll see. We will see what happens. A little bit smooch. Of course, we did move our event from Sunday to Tuesday due to RSL, due to the Revival StarCraft League. For now, though, we're going to be joining, going to be saturating. Again, we do have the faster link speed for Wayne. With this, we can try to punish YoungYakov. YoungYakov knows this. He knows his link speed is delayed, so YoungYakov should be going 2-base Roach. We should be walling up here with a Roach Horn, with an Evo Chamber. We should be delaying the 3rd base and staying on 2 bases instead. Wayne can freely expand. YoungYakov cannot. If he tries to expand, he will lose the base. He will lose the base, and he will be denied, and he'll be shut down. So YoungYakov has to play it slow, play it safe. Getting extra queens, there we go. Skips link speed, go straight for the lair. This is typically what you want to do. You go straight for the lair, wall up, wall off. Now from here, this can turn into 2-base Muta, or we can go into 2-base Roach. Roach Horn is thrown down, but this could just be for show. So this is not confirmation yet of the Roach play. We're still waiting for the gases. As there we go, gases are now being taken. Gases are on the way. Evo Chamber as well. So we are walling up. Wayne gonna poke at the front door with these links. It just means the music louder. Oh, maybe. I'll adjust a little bit. We'll see what happens. We'll see. But now though. Now then we're getting in. We do have +1 range on the way. Oh, as we for a moment move to drone out. There it is. There is the Spire. So 2-base Muta out of YoungYakov. We are going to commit. We are going to double down. Este YoungYakov. Ay. And it's on Wayne to confirm. Now, remember, he already knows that there's no expansion. He already knows that it's 2-base play, but in his eyes, it could be 2-base Roach, it could be 2-base Muta. Like, it's still a little bit in the air as to what's going on. It could be an all-in, it could not. Wayne has yet to confirm. He does have an Overlord here outside of the bases, but he has not gone in with an Overlord for the time being. He should be at least going in with the Overseer with his Lair. So Lair is almost done, then bam, Overseer Scout. So we should soon be seeing that from Wayne. Should be. So we poke in. Again, we have +1 melee on the way, and we're massing up Lings behind this, of course. It's going to be purely a Ling Muta. Wayne, he hasn't seen... I mean, seeing all those things would have been a tell as well. And Wayne, he might catch wind. There we go, Overseer into the main base, does confirm. He knows. He sees everything, he's now fully aware. Spores being thrown down, Queen production's underway. And Wayne, he's getting ready for the Mutas. They're coming. So are the Zerglings. Yakov moves out. Wayne just has to survive. And minimize those losses. So far, losing 1, 2, 3, 4 drone kills. Very nice target firing. And nice target firing of the YoungYakov. Gets us around. Does force a cancel. Some Mutas do poke in. The Spore was cancelled earlier, and now there's no anti-air. Oh god, there's no anti-air. Drones are going down. This should not have happened. Spore is denied. And Wayne is forced to push out. Forced to counterattack. These Mutas achieving a lot more than they really should have here. Getting a Queen, getting drones, getting the Spore, getting a second Queen goes down. And Wayne's all in. Wayne, he's all in. He's moving out across the map. Oh, pushes into the naturals. Spine Call is not quite yet done. But Lings are popping out. Mutas are camping the production. Camping across the map. A nice Ravager morph in. That's actually Wayne blocking himself. So he can't push further in. And the Spine Calls do finish. And Yakov holds. He holds. He breaks through across the map. Gets 11 drone kills. 13 even. 13 drones. Ooh, fellow Queens. Roach count is almost reset. Getting another Roach. From here, Yakov, he can pull back, he can pull away, and we'll see if he can break the expansion. Oh, no chance use. Gets a Queen. Ooh, a Queen for a Muta. Lings, they come in from behind, diving another Queen. Gets another. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Every Queen is going to go down. No transfuse. 4 falls as well. And the third base will fall. There's no saving it back. There's no saving the expansion. Wayne once again going for a desperation counterattack. Getting desperate. Yo, we got some infestors on the way. Let's go. Let's get some infestors. But Wayne, he lost the advantage. Remember, he was supposed to be up on bases, but not anymore. And the Muta cannon's getting out of hand. It's getting out of control. The next on main Lings. Oh, there's one more fungal available. Muta does survive. And from here, YoungYakov should just overwhelm, right? Like he takes down the spawning pool, catches out more Mutas, or more Queens, I should say. A little bit distracted. And Wayne, he's just running out of steam. And again, Wayne, he saw everything he needed to. GG gets called, and YoungYakov takes game number 1. GG. Wayne gets punished. As a reminder, how did this series, or how did the initial scout react? What was the reaction to the scout? Spores. We had spores in every single base, but if you recall, what did Wayne do? He canceled the spore, surprisingly. He canceled his spore at his third base to be able to produce more roaches, and as a result, he lost air control. He lost control of the air. He lost his queens, I should say. There was no backup spore in the mineral line, so then drones started going down, and everything just snowballed out of control from the lack of anti-air at that third base. From there, GG. From there, GG, well played. From there, YoungYakov does take a lead in the series, and we'll see if YoungYakov can close it out here and now. We'll see if Wayne can bounce back and recover and force a longer game. Let's go. Can he force in the ace match? We'll bring it all the way to game 3. Let's go. Let us go. So we're getting into Maganatha for the second game. Maganatha, a much larger map of the map pool, known for potentially more macro play. I say more macro play. I would say the muted play is better here on Maganatha, as it is a larger map. The bases are a little bit more spread out, and there's more room between yourself and your opponent, so muted play can work wonders here. But I don't like the idea of YoungYakov going mutas 2 games in a row. Not too fond of that idea, so we'll see. We'll see what it goes for. We'll see. Getting into game number 2, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Maganatha, we have the blue Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg player himself down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back and make a series out of this. It is Wayne. And spawning in the top side of Maganatha, we have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg himself leading the series 1-0. It is YoungYakov. He's still young, Bab. He's still young. Aye. Getting into game 2. Again, we had an explosive game 1 in a sense, and again, Wayne, he scouted the spire. He knew what was going on. I mean, it was a bit of a later scout, but he did decide to cancel his spore crawlers with that. The mutas, they got out of hand, they got out of control. Maybe a little bit of overconfidence there by Wayne, believing he had more time to react and to respond, or believing that he would have enough to deflect the mutas. Let's with that. Getting into game 2, and we'll keep an eye on our openers. Remember, last game YoungYakov did open up with a hatch pool opener, or I believe it was pool hatch, into a delayed gas. This time gas timing is standard, so hatch gas pool at YoungYakov, hatch gas pool at Wayne. This time both players are going for standard openers. This time both players will get link speed, and this time both players should be taking their third bases. There is no indication here of 2 base play yet, unlike last game. So we're taking a much more standard approach. Zerg despite random. Oh, sorry. Out of game, if it did show the random race, that is a mistake, so I do apologize. The out of game overlay didn't update. But playing Zerg. It's playing Zerg. Not playing random. My apologies. Here we go. Again, before we went live with the tournament, YoungYakov, he was telling me like, I'm washed, baby, I'm washed. Oh no. It's like, you're coping. I know that YoungYakov, he's been streaming a lot recently, right? I think we raided him a couple of times, but he has been live on his Twitch channel. Has been streaming as of late. I would say YoungYakov is probably one of the best Zerg players in Europe right now. Like maybe top 5. Just because he has been more active than Wayne. He's been on the ladder grinding quite a lot. Is Yakov top 4? Yeah, I think I would. I think I would place Yakov above a Laser at the moment. I mean, a Laser, he for most of this year has been playing Age of Empires. Oh. As we are going for a standard Baneliness timing. YoungYakov, okay, does skip the Baneliness. Bold move here out of Yakov, going for the earlier Evo chamber, skipping on the Banelings. With this, Wayne will have a lot of momentum. He'll have a lot of control. And I just realized that Yakov did actually skip Link speed, so he's playing 2 base. So is playing 2 base once again. I did go for a different opener this time. This time he did have excess gas to work with. You could see he was banking up a lot of gas, opted not to spend it until now, where now he's taking more gases, going for the lair and walling up. So 2 base play once again out of YoungYakov, but this time he's investing into +1 range. Remember, last game, what did we see? +1 melee, which was indicative of Muta play. This time with range, there's a higher chance we're going into 2 base Roach instead, not Mutalisks. The problem here for Wayne is that from what Wayne can see, it looks the same, right? He sees no expansion. He sees a researching Evo chamber. Even if he sees a lair, like, this is not enough to confirm. It's not enough. So Wayne's still in the dark. Likewise, he's going for +1 carapace, going for the Roach Warren. He has not gotten a lair himself. Without an earlier lair timing, that means there's no Overseer scouts, but there we go. Lair is now on the way. 417. Roaches are amassing, going for a hidden second Evo chamber. So double Evo chamber, double upgrades. Going into 1-1. Link scout is denied. But he does see the researching Roach Warren. Technically, this could also be a fake out. But the research, for the most part, should let him know that it should be Roaches. Should be. He sees the third. Bold move. YoungYakov should not be able to finish his third base. No shot. Lings move in for the surround. And these Lings should force a cancel. Oh, I say that. Roaches, they do react. Lings, they zone away. Okay. There's actually a big moment here for YoungYakov to expand as quickly as he is. Yeah, Wayne, he wasn't quite in position to react to this. What's at home? Okay. Yakov, he gets his third. We have +2 range on the way. And of course the Roaches are revealed, of course. Things, they attempt to go in. Nice screen positioning. The wall is solid. Is solid, and behind this, I would say that Wayne is falling behind. The problem with Wayne's setup here, as he should have had the better economy, and he has had the better economy at least, so Wayne should be getting the slightly larger army, but the upgrades here are lacking. He's working on +1 range. Meanwhile, we have +2 on the way. Like, that's a big upgrade lead here for YoungYakov. He's going to be getting into 2-1 upgrades. Wayne went into +1 carapace first, which was an interesting choice. Overload speed on the way. Wayne, he can go for some drop load harass. Let's go. Can go for some drop loads. As YoungYakov is moving in, a bit of an anti-timing, +2 is still not yet done, but despite that, YoungYakov is still pushing through. Miles, they raise the army. Decent dodge. Upgrades are finishing up in 8 seconds. Lings are coming from behind. Wayne, can he hold on? Again, the upgrades are finishing up as the fight is concluding. Yeah, so brutal anti-timing here. Yakov, he might still barely have enough. It's still quite close. Boys are being pulled. He needs those reinforcements. He needs that rally. Takes down the mineral line. There's 13 drones, but Wayne holds. Yeah, Wayne, he holds on. Again, Yakov, he attacked like 20 seconds too soon. Again, he lost so many roaches before +2. So brutal anti-timing. But Yakov, he might still break through anyway. Like, he still has momentum. He now has the worker lead, still has the upgrade advantage, and he's getting ready for the second wave. For the second push, Wayne is down 30 supply. Bowser connects, and Yakov, he still has enough. Yeah, he still has enough anyway. Yakov, he has done it. He had no confidence getting into this. What an animal. As with the GG gets called, Yakov, he will claim the series 2-0. He will advance on to the quarterfinals. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations, Yakov. He will claim the series, and Wayne is now out of the tournament. Oof, he's going to be out here in the first round. Well done here to YoungYakov as he will advance on. Hold on. Message Yakov. But GG, well played with that, Yakov. You'll claim the series, and let's catch up with the bracket. Let's figure out where we are and where we are headed. Let's go. Yeah, let's go. As from the top, we have some updates. We have ByuN. ByuN is up against Farmy. It's been a while. It's been it's been a while. It's been a while since we've seen Farmy, or since I've seen Farmy in a bracket. So really cool to see Farmy once again after a couple of months, if not a year, that I haven't seen him. So Farmy's up against ByuN. Farmy's of course a Korean Protoss player, so they're facing off in a TVP when it goes up against YoungYakov in the next round. Scrolling down, we have Gerald. Gerald's up against Prome. Prome takes down Ragnar 2-0. Gerald versus Prome currently ongoing in the PvP when it goes up against Rebellion, as Percival has given a walkover. So unfortunately, Percival is not quite available. Does provide or does forfeit, so Rebellion does advance on in instead, and we have pure PvP there. Gerald, Prome, and Rebellion. We do have a Protoss confirmed for the semifinals. Scrolling down, we have NightMare versus Triple when it goes up against Nickrat. Nickrat takes down Art 2-0. Big win there for Nickrat. Scrolling down, we have Matt. Matt takes down Hatzel. Matt up against Creator in the next round. Matt, he's the cheeky boy. He can be a cheeky boy, so we'll see if Matt can pose a threat to Creator, as Creator is going to be one of the other top seeds of the tournament. And we have Shameless versus Sebestus in a PvP, also facing off in the bottom half of the bracket. Now, typically what do we do? Typically we follow players. So we just casted YoungYakov versus Wayne, and I would love to see YoungYakov versus the winner of ByuN and Farmy, but we do have to wait for them to become available here. So we're waiting for ByuN and Farmy to wrap up, and once they do, we can either jump in mid-series or follow them into YoungYakov, into the upper portion of the bracket. That's the goal, that's the plan. That is going to be the plan here. Oh. So all currently in game. I mentioned it before, but I believe Wardy is going to be again clashing a tournament with ours, unfortunately. So that is going to impact some things. It might mean there might be some forfeits. The reasoning for that is I would not be surprised if the prize pool for his event is larger than ours. So that's going to be so we'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, Matthew. Fingers crossed. Have a look. Let's have a look here. ByuN. So ByuN is clashing, Geralt is clashing, Farmy, Yakov, Rebellion, Nickrat. It's quite a lot of the same faces here, so we'll see what happens. Hopefully everything works out well, and hopefully we have minimal clashing and minimal forfeits, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. What do these tournament rules say that you can't play in 2 tournaments at the same time? Well, that's why I said that we'll see who forfeits our events, right? But otherwise, we're going to be going on a short break. We'll be going on a short break, and when we come back, we will have either ByuN versus Farmy mid-series or the winner versus YoungYakov. We'll see you soon. We'll see you soon after the break. See you soon. Bye. See you soon. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Whew, I hope you enjoyed that lovely brutal OSC. As we returned here with another series, or our second series of the broadcast. We are mid-series here. We're jumping to game 2 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ultra Love. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Orange Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, it has been a very long time since I've had the luxury of casting this player, the South Korean Protoss, for Team Into the Clan. It is Farmy. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our TVP. And if you're in the chat, again, it is Gamba time. Also, thank you so much to Morituti in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime for 20 months. That's a lot of months, Papi. That's a lot of months. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it as always, Papi, as always. Gracias, Papi, gracias. Thank you for the support for so long as we are getting into our best of 3. Let's go. Let us go double gas. Double gas opener out of ByuN. Opening up double gas, going for a faster factory. Delayed CC. ByuN, he, I would say, has some of the best TVP in the world, but we did cast ByuN yesterday, and ByuN was looking a little bit lackluster, if you recall. Remember, we casted ByuN. Oh, as we're going for a proxy in the natural. Let's go. If you remember, ByuN, he was playing last night in the War DTV Monday, and he played in the semifinals against Shameless, and ByuN was looking very different. He was looking very out of shape, or yeah, just not really the ByuN that we expect. There were a lot of mistakes, a lot of missteps in that series. Was he a little bit tired? Was he out of it? Can he lock in for the Tuna Cup? It is the Tuna Cup, Abby. True. It is the weekly that you want to be ready for. So, you know, maybe War DTV Monday was just the warm-up, and here he's locked in. He's locked in to face off against all the Protoss, Abby. We'll see how he does as we are opening up 2 gates, one at home, one across the map. Farmy is being hyper-aggressive. Unfortunately for Farmy, it was a faster factory, which means faster factory units, faster Hellion, faster Cyclone. We'll see how ByuN does react and respond after he scouts. If he scouts. Yeah, Reaper does confirm. There we go. ByuN, he knows. Yeah, ByuN, he sees the gateway. He's fully aware, which means he should get a CC on the high ground. Bunker's already on the way. Solid reactions here out of ByuN. Solid reactions. From here, Stalkers do poke in. Stalkers poke in. Diva's gonna go down. I say that the boys are full just in time to repair. Does repair. So far, so good. ByuN is holding. No major losses. Behind this, Twilight Council's on the way, getting in towards Blink. Farmy does expand, but a delayed expansion here from Farmy. And ByuN does not go for a CC. Okay, very interesting here. No command center. No second base. ByuN goes for a starport instead. He delays a CC in favor of what? In favor of drop play. Should be either drop play or Banshees. ByuN is contained. ByuN is contained. Going for not another Cyclone, going for an early tank. Okay. ByuN playing it safe. ByuN plays it safe. Does get that tank. And was going to be going not for drop play for the Banshee. So we were assuming one or the other, either for a drop across the map or for Banshee play. So we did prioritize Banshee production instead of the CC. A bold move here by ByuN. We'll see if he can get some damage done. We'll see if he can get across the map. Meanwhile, it's going to be on Farmy to contain ByuN for as long as possible. His Blink is finished. Here's your Blink. It's all about containing the Terran. Terminus. Ooh, the first tank goes down. Nice pickup. That's actually quite brutal here. One tank falls. Adept is here. The Adept can try to tank the tank shot, then we can blink in. We got high ground vision. There's the on siege. Banshee's moving out, so back at home. Do we have any defense? Okay, thankfully there's no cloak. I was about to say, if cloak were to be done here, there is zero detection. Banshee gets across. I mean, there's still nothing that shoots up. Do we get a recall? Gotta make a choice. Warps in across the map. Uh-oh. No defensive warp, and he's committing. He's going for it. He's linking in. Oh, a little bit late. Yeah, a little bit late, but there we go. One tank goes down. He gets one. He gets two. Ooh, but brutal tank shots, and he'll lose everything. GG gets called. Not worth the dive. And ByuN, he will take the series 2-0. He will advance on to the quarterfinals. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Congratulations here to ByuN, as he will claim the series. He will advance on. Shout to Farmy. Again, it's been so long since I've casted Farmy. I mean, it was a brief return and a brief reunion with Farmy, I will say. It was very brief. Let me just double check here. Farmy, I want to say we probably casted him like beginning of last year. Let's see. Farmy. I last casted him, September of 2024. I say September, sorry, that was when the YouTube video was released. This would have been like early 2024. It was STC 54. Jesus. Over 50 Tuna Cups ago. It's been a long time. But great to see Farmy once again. With that though, Farmy is going to be out of the tournament. ByuN does advance on, and we are heading over to the Americas server because ByuN has his next opponent ready and waiting for him. Who's up next? Oh, if you recall, he is not old, not yet, a little bit. He's for all of us though, he's young. He is YoungYakov. YoungYakov, he took down Wayne earlier, and now he has the luxury of facing off against ByuN in the quarterfinals. Bam, there we go. So I do need a moment to set up our players. Here we go. Quarterfinals, bam. So we have ByuN versus YoungYakov. Scrolling down, we do have Gerald versus Prome still ongoing. Rebellion still waiting for the winner of the series. Meanwhile, NightMare does take down Triple. We have NightMare versus Nickrat in the quarterfinals. Likewise, we have Creator versus Shameless. Shameless takes down Sebestus 2-0. Creator takes down Matt 2-0. My condolences to Matt. My condolences to Sebestus, as they are strong players in their own right, but they go down early on. Again, the bracket is packed. It is a very, very stacked bracket, so some big names all over the place here, and the quarterfinals are now underway. Of course, we're going to be focusing on our series. Up next, we're going to be featuring ByuN and YoungYakov. Likewise, looks like Gerald and Prome are a little bit more delayed here. They're still in game, still mid-series. So the upper semis might be a little bit delayed, which means we might cast the lower semis first. We'll see how things line up. We will see. Otherwise, we're going to be going on a short break. Here. Should be very short because when we come back, we'll have the vetoes done as they are currently underway, and we will have our quarterfinals match. See you soon. See you soon after the break. Oh. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to the quarterfinals. The quarterfinals here of the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 107. That's a lot of tuna. That's a lot of cups. That's a lot of cups. Here we go as we are jumping into our first series and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pylon. We do have our South Korean Terran player. We have our South Korean Terran. We have our Red Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. Tuna Cup number. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player, the blue Zerg player himself. It is YoungYakov. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is a Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our fresh best of 3. And coming into this, ByuN is going to be the heavy favorite, of course. Yakov has been on that grind. He's been streaming a lot. He's been laddering a lot. He's been improving quite a bit over the past, I want to say, 6 months as a player. But can he compete? Can he compare to ByuN? And now is going to be his biggest challenge yet in the tournament. Let's go. Let's go. Let's face off. For now, standard openers. There's no 2-Rax Reaper. True. No 2-Rax Reaper setup. We're going for a Rax expand instead. So standard opener out of ByuN. Likewise, YoungYakov also going for his own hatch gas pool. Nothing crazy. Nothing wild. Nothing wild, man. So from here, we're going to be settling in. I would imagine... it's just, I don't get to cast enough YoungYakov nowadays. Like, he did take some time off. Like, Yakov, he was on the grind at the beginning of the year leading up to EWC. I should emphasize, post-EWC, Yakov did take a lot of time off. So I don't really know his current state of play. I know that roach play is very in vogue. It's very in meta currently, especially at the highest level of ZVT. But I don't know if YoungYakov's really want to embrace that. So we'll see if he's a bit of a roach boy. We'll see if he does play Link Main. Show us what you got. Now ByuN does break in. In, gets a couple of volleys off. Behind this, going for going for his third CC before starport. Economic opener here out of ByuN, very economic, very greedy. So he throws down the CC. And we'll see where he takes us. Going to be on YoungYakov here to confirm the exact build and confirm the follow-up as well, as we should be lining up for an add-on swap. There we go, Tech Labs on the way. Now ByuN, when it comes to this CC timing, not gonna lie, I do get a vibe from mech. ByuN does play mech in this matchup. I do emphasize quite a lot for TVP that ByuN, he is maybe the only Terran player in the world that doesn't play mech against Protoss at the moment. I'm not saying the others always play mech, but they do mix it into their series. Players like Clem, players like Gabe, players like Maru, players like Cure, Bunny, they do mix mech in against Protoss. ByuN doesn't really touch mech against Protoss. Against Zerg, he does. He does like to incorporate Cyclone and Battle Mech. We'll see if that's the case here as we're faking the upgrade. And are we going to throw down another factory? I'm waiting for the overlord to go down. Tech Lab is on the way. What's the plan? Raxes or factories? As Yakov back at home, he's droning, going for his pretty relatively standard layer timing. It's going to be at 4:18. A little bit earlier. Stim. Okay. Whew, thank God. We're getting into Stim and we're throwing down extra Raxes. No factory, no add-on swap. We are getting into ByuN. Thank God. Of course, ByuN still has the capacity for mech, but not in game 1. As Hellions poke in. Ooh, fast double E-base here out of ByuN. Interesting. We'll see if we're going to lead this into a 3-base 8 racks and a 3-base all-in. Could commit. If I'm not mistaken, though, I believe typically if this were to be the setup for an A-Rex, we get the two eBays before the set of racks is here. So it would have been double eBay, then the third and fourth racks. Sorry, the second and third racks. We'll see. Meanwhile, YoungYakov, he is going to be opening up roaches. We were curious if that was going to be the case. He's going for what? A German taxi. So YoungYakov, he's going to commit into an all-in. We're cutting workers here at 54. We're going to be taking, what, 5 gases? Yeah, 5 gases are getting saturated. We're getting more or less full saturation at the mineral lines, or I should say half saturation here at the third base, and massing up purely lings, roaches, queens, and dropalors. The German taxi is upon us, and it's all or nothing for YoungYakov. There's no intention to get into a longer game. No intention. Let's go. Let's go. Squeeze that up. Yakov commits. Army gets spotted. ByuN knows. ByuN, he knows, he's aware, but doesn't matter. He kites well. ByuN, he does kite back. He evacuates. He abandons a third. And it's all about that natural defense. The tank is up. Tank is up and running. Helens, they try to dive in. Can we force some friendly fire? Oof. Nice target firing. Out of ByuN. Does focus Ravager. Does focus the Roach, I should say. And ByuN is contained, but Yakov, he needs more damage than this. He has to keep going. Can he get within range of the tanks? Going for the biles. He will get one tank. Oh, it's going to cost him. It's going to cost him so much of that Roach Ravager. Boys are being pulled. 2 Ravagers left. ByuN, he stamps in. He stamps in. Takes down the Ravagers. 1 Ravager remaining. And ByuN is holding. Yeah, ByuN, he is holding. Yakov, he just has not done enough damage here. Has not done enough. Ooh, and this is a brutal moment here. Oh no, the queens! Queens get shot down, all the creep as well. No active tumors. ByuN will chase. And behind this, double evo chambers for YoungYakov. He now starts droning, but this is so late, it's so delayed. There's a reason why you call it an all-in, because if it fails, you fall far, far behind. Here, YoungYakov, his only chance is hoping that ByuN makes mistakes. So, for example, there's a world where ByuN goes with this double drop, and he loses everything. If he loses everything, the Marines and the medevacs as well, and then he goes for another double drop. At the same time, we have Roach drop into the main base. If this would get some damage as well, like there's potential here for YoungYakov to recover, but there's a lot of pressure on YoungYakov. And ByuN is looking comfortable. Remember, the soup does lie. The soup does lie. ByuN is actually miles ahead. He's working on 2-2 upgrades. 1-1 just began for YoungYakov. Likewise, remember, Roach Ravager is an inflated army supply. It is supply inefficient. So despite the higher number, its army is actually weaker. ByuN does start to step in. Takes out the spore, catching out more roaches. Does go for the target, does go for the drones. Yeah, brutal target firing, getting 5 drones. Aye, aye, aye. 5 workers go down. Not like this. Yakov trying to get into his own hive tech. ByuN working on a 4th TC. And again, there's no pressure on ByuN. Like there's absolutely no pressure. You just chill, settle down back at home, take more bases. More factories on the way. While they do graze some of the army. But tanks are moving in, and ByuN is just pushing. He's just going for his move out. So drop into the main base. Once again, he gets the mineral line. 6 more drones going down. ByuN, he loses one of the tanks. One tank does fall. But there's just not enough on the ground. There's not enough for a Travager. Fungal does graze the army. Job's still in the main, still dealing damage. Getting up to 13, 14 drone kills, gets the full mineral line. Brutal damage. As one tank is going to get but GG gets called. ByuN, he will take a lead in the series. He will take game number 1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, very crucial that ByuN was able to scout ahead of time. Remember, what did this come down to? It came down to the all-in from YoungYakov, which was scouted in the center of the map. And what happened when he got scouted? ByuN evacuated the third base. If YoungYakov was able to get across the map unscouted, the goal would have been to fight ByuN at the third instead, which is a lot more open, a lot more exposed, a lot more angles of attack as well. There is a concave pushing in towards that third, and you can even abuse the location in between the third and the natural as well. Like, that would have been a much better fight for YoungYakov. But ByuN, he evacuated. He scouted, so he was able to evacuate, he pulled back, and he was able to defend and fortify himself at his natural. And we saw that YoungYakov could not break the natural base. He did attempt to, and he did get 2 tank kills. That's all he really got. He got 2 tank kills, I think he got 4 SCVs. He traded with the Marines, but again, that was not enough. And from there, ByuN took a lead, and ByuN got further ahead. GG. GG, well played. With that, we're now getting into game number 2. Getting into game 2, and we'll see where this series does take us. This morning, in the left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Red Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Blue Zerg player. The Blue Zerg player himself. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is YoungYakov. We go. Some players are settling in. And once again, ByuN does not open up 2-Act Reaper. No 2-Act Reaper. Said we're just going to calm things down, and once again the pressure is going to be on YoungYakov. So last game he attempted to go for a 2.5 base all in off of 2.5 base saturation. This time, what's the plan? Do we go for another roach all in? Do we go into something more drastic? Do we go into muta play, for example? Do we go for a Bane bust? Do we play standard? Do we play macro? We'll see. We shall see. Where the players are setting up. Yakov claiming his third base. Behind this, ByuN just going for his own racks expand into factory. From here, we'll see if he goes for another faster OCC. We'll see if he goes into a Starport instead. It's going to be a ByuN. Likewise, Yakov, he pulls out of gas. Never dance with the Reaper. And ByuN, he wants that drone. Ooh, barely not. Doesn't get it. Queen does intercept, gets a couple of voids up, but the Reaper does get away and will confirm. Ooh, doesn't quite get eyes on the third base, but can assume. Third base is being taken. Meanwhile, third CC on the way for ByuN. So ByuN just going 3 CC into a 3 racks Banshee. Sorry, 3 racks? What? 3 CC Banshee is what I meant to say. We're a little bit tired today. It's been a long day. But there's that 1-1-1. Racks floating over for the out-on swap into Banshees. We're assuming. Technically could be Viking into Liberator or something like that. Could be earlier stim. But should be swapping. Likewise, as the Banshee play, Ling moves in, gets a full scout. Nice scout here from YoungYakov. He's fully aware of what's going on. He does see the 1-on-1. He does spot and confirm there is no upgrade on the way on the starport, so no detection is required. No cloak Banshee. Getting into stim so far, the same sort of build here from ByuN. Same build, same setup. And this time, YoungYakov going into double Evo chamber. So, if you recall, at the beginning of this game, we spoke about how, okay, YoungYakov, what's the plan? Do we go for another Roach Hole in? Do we go into a faster lair? Do we go into Muto play? Well, we have the answer, double Evo chamber. This tells us that YoungYakov is playing more greedy. He's being more macro-oriented. With this, there's going to be a faster 1-1 timing, a faster 2-2 timing as well. Now, there is a downside to this. The downside is the lair is delayed. So, later lair timing, likewise going to be a later Overseer Scout and also later Baneling speed. So there are some downsides to this. Later Baneling speed, later Overseers, but of course faster upgrades for the Ling Bane. So we are going to be playing Ling Bane here. You know, ByuN back at home is just getting to his own bio. Double E-base, 1-1 upgrades as well. If, for example, YoungYakov was up against a Hellbat push, if there was a Hellbat push coming, then that could do critical damage. But as we can see, it's a standard build out of ByuN, so Yakov has nothing to be concerned about. At least he shouldn't. From here, Precision Bits on the way. This tells us that we want to go Ling Bane Ultra. Ooh, bold move. Sings us on the way. Banshees are getting across the map. Wings are keeping up. So far, so good. Yakov is defending. He defends and secures his bases. Coming for a full surround, catching out the Hellions. They still trade relatively well though. They get 4 drone kills, 4 drones, and 33 Lings go down in total. Hive is on the way. Remember, the goal here, the plan is to rush into what? Into Ultra Tech. So Ling Bane into Ultra from YoungYakov. We have Burrow on the way. There's a lot of potential, of course, with those Borrowed Banelings. Burrow is going to be a big upgrade as well. And ByuN will soon move out with his medevacs. Medevacs are coming. Now ByuN can be active. And it's on YoungYakov to keep up, to defend, to survive until the Hive is done. I keep panning to the main base. I'm so used to it. But here at the natural. Hive is halfway done. ByuN is getting a 4th CC. He's building up in towards a longer game. Playing standard, just like last game. Yakov, can he get to the Ultras? Can he get there? Stim. ByuN stims in, he gets 1. He gets 1, he gets 2 queens, not bad. Does catch 2 queens. Start deflected. Hive is done. We spoke about it. What's for the Hive floor? The Ultras. Ultra Cavern's on the way. That's the big power spike, the win condition for YoungYakov. Survive until Ultras. He's almost there. He's almost at the Ultras. Just needs a little bit more time. Ooh, as Yakov, he will lose his expansion. At least he should. There we go. That's a kill, not a cancel. Kills the base. ByuN moves in, denies creep. Yakov, he's stuck on 4 bases. ByuN getting his own 4th as well. Yakov falling behind economically. Ultra Cavern is complete. Here comes Kindness Plating. We need those Ultras. We need the Ultras, baby. Yakov does get across the map, not bad. Gets into the mineral lane. 9 SCVs going down. Ooh, gets 3 Widow Mines. Nice bait. Nice splits. Very clean control there from YoungYakov. So 10 SCVs, 4 mines, minimal losses. Okay, we need more of that. Now, the scary thing here is that was a nice trade for YoungYakov. He still doesn't have a 5th base, right? Like, he's still down in economy. Kindness Plating almost done. Can we get to the Ultras? Can we get there? Oh, nice fungal. Unfortunately, there's no follow-up. We're going for the chain fungal, actually. Oh my god. Catching up some of the Marines. You guys are catching up 12 SCVs as well. This is delaying ByuN, but only delaying. He's still pushing. The Ultras are on the way. He's got 2, soon to be 4 Ultras. Medivacs do go down, but YoungYakov, he's still not quite there supply-wise. Oh, actually mixing in Hydras. Bold choice. I mean, as you can see, anti-air is limited for YoungYakov. Now going into Hydras, which can be a little bit awkward just because it's a ground-based unit, and there's a lot on the ground with the main and Ultras. Drop into the main base, snipes 2 Queens. Trades well against the Zerglings. We hide against the Ultras. Ultras are getting a couple of swipes in. Meanwhile, another expansion goes down. Once again, Yakov just cannot take a base. He's being torn apart. He's just being torn apart here. We need those power bombs. Next with them. Oh, God, the Medivacs, they stack. Oh my god. Medivacs do stack up, and they will go down. 3 Medivacs survive. They're empty. Yakov, he's holding. He's holding. His own. ByuN now forced to get the Ghost Academy. This is late. Again, ByuN, he's known about the Ultras for quite some time at this point, for like, what, 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes? But the Ghost Academy is very delayed. ByuN, he was hoping he could get away without it. And now the game is slowing down. Now that ByuN is forced to invest into the Ghost Academy, into Liberators as well, into Fusion Core, into Liberator Range, tells me that ByuN, he's slowing things down, he's turtling up back at home. With this, YoungYakov has finally gained map control, and now is the time to double expand. To take the center base, take another expansion, take all the bases, take all your gases. There we go, gold bases on the way. Now is the time to focus on all the upgrades. Hydra upgrades, Lurker upgrades as well. Yakov, he's almost there. He's holding his own. He's got 5 Ultras so far. Oh. Nice, the Medivac. Oh, despite that, the Marines, they still trade well. Oh, god, god. The boys cannot fight this. 7 drone kills. Oh. Abductions. Yeah, very nice abductions. Yakov cleans up the drop. ByuN stuck at home. Stuck defending. Stimming in. Sits in, gets one, gets 2 Hydras. Can't quite chase. And ByuN is about to max. Now, what's scary here is that, sure, Yakov has had map control. What has he done with that map control? He took the center base, he tried to take gold, but he's losing the expansions. He's not saturating these bases either. And ByuN, in turtling, has gone into Mass Ghost. Into Mass Ghost Liberator. He's turning into his, or he's getting his final form. He's building up to his final form. With Ghost Lib. Oh my god, as YoungYakov is going for a massive Doom drop. Yeah, headed for the main base, but ByuN sees it coming ahead of time. At the same time, we do have another push on the right hand side. ByuN, ooh, stuck move commanding. Yeah, miscontrol. Miscontrol out of ByuN. Abduction's coming in. Going for the planetary. The drop is denied. The planetary goes down. Yakov trading well here. Ooh. Just take a massive mine to the face, but he gets 17 SCVs. Lunging in. Here, lunges forward. Yakov has a bank. ByuN, he just lost his. Jesus, that's a lot of mules. Let's go for the mule hammer. We got 14 lurkers morphing in. Can Yakov go for the kill? Can he go for the throat? Can he wedge himself in between the bases? As ByuN bleeds out some more units here. Loses another ghost. The ghost goes down. And I want to say that at this point, Yakov has done it. He's still oversaturated, still has no saturation on the right-hand side. ByuN, we got to tighten up. We got to tighten up the economy. As the economy is crucial here for ByuN. The whole position! Oh my god! Oh, Jesus! Yakov! The whole position lunker is back. He's crazy. Oh my god. Does take a mine shot to the face. Yakov. That was how many? That was what? 5 ghosts going down. And again, as you can see, ByuN, he's broke. Now this is a little bit on ByuN. As we mentioned, ByuN, he's heavily oversaturated on one base and undersaturated on the other. Like ByuN, we transfer, papi, transfer. We have some bases. He's got 30 workers on 2 patches. So again, ByuN, he's started. There we go. ByuN, he transfers. Does transfer over. Does now saturate the 4th base, but this is late for ByuN. He's starving. Take a lapse in. Going for the powerbomb. But ByuN, he's here. He's got his mass live, his ghost. These lurkers, they cannot advance. And this is where we need spires. This is where we need to get ready for Brewlord Infestor. Oh no! Losing more lurkers. Instead, Yakov is doubling down on Ling Hydra Lurker. Now this composition can work if you can. Oh no! If you can do this! Oh the ghost! Massive toggle! Oh my god! ByuN! Jesus! As ByuN, he misrallies walking into the army. Oh no! ByuN, look after your boys! And Yakov, has he done it? Has he broken through? I mean, again, he just caught half the army. Now he's moving in. He's pushing him into the bases. Catching out the Liberator. And again, you can't make these mistakes against Yakov. You can't do it. ByuN, he's cornered. He cannot get out of here. We lunge in. We focus on the Liberators one after the other. And GG gets called. GG gets called. YoungYakov ties up the series 1-1. Whew, GG. Hi. GG, well played. Very, very intense game here. Yakov, remember, his win condition was get into the Hive and get into the Ultras, and he got there. He was able to defend with pure Ling Bane, was able to keep up with the drops, keep up with the counterattacks, more importantly, pull off his own run-bys. There was that crucial moment where he was able to get across the map, get 10 SCV kills, and catch out some of the army, catch reinforcements, and delay his opponent. At a certain point, once the Ultras popped out, ByuN, he was forced to be defensive. But it took a while. It took a while for that to actually happen. It took a while for ByuN to actually confirm and commit to throwing down the Ghost Academy, right? It was a delayed Ghost Academy. I think we brought it up at the time, right? That he could have thrown it down like 1.5, 2 minutes earlier to throw down the Academy and to work towards those ghosts. But last it was a little bit later there from ByuN, and likewise Yakov, he was able to catch him off guard multiple times. We saw ByuN getting caught up by the whole position lurkers with his ghosts, and also running half his army into the forces of Yakov towards the end of the game as well. So some critical moments, some critical missteps, some critical mistakes out of ByuN. And with that, we're now getting into game number 3. We're getting into the ace match. Let's go. And spawning in the right hand corner of Tokamak, we have the red Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Shopify. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player. The blue Zerg player himself tying up the series 1-1. It is YoungYakov. Crazy misrally. Yeah, it was like a bit of miscontrol when it came to the rotation. It was basically ByuN, he was rotating his army here, for example, from this position, but the army just happened to kind of AI move into the opponent this way instead, like forward towards the left instead of backwards towards the left. So ByuN, he was a little bit inattentive to how his army was actually moving to the location, and he ended up running into the lurkers. So unfortunate pathing there for ByuN. But again, even before that, ByuN, he was, again, later to transition into all the ghosts, into all the liberators. He believed that he could do damage early on, and he was killing bases, to be fair. He was killing hatcheries, but eventually, Yakov, he stabilized. He stabilized, took over his bases. And now we're getting to game number 3, and we'll see how this story ends. Already, Yakov impressive, right? Already, he does impress us. He does take a map. Can he keep going? Can you do it again? Now, loading into Tokamak here, I would expect to see something similar, right? Welcome to Tokamak. Tokamak is one of the largest maps in the map pool, known for defensive play as well. It can be very difficult to break a turtling player. Like, a turtling Terran player here is going to be even stronger. Hello. What's going on? Before we can talk about turtling and before we can talk about the mid to late game, ByuN, he does go CC first into a 2-Rax follow-up. So greedy build here by ByuN. Again, we spoke about it. This map is known for being defensive, is known for longer games, so ByuN, he will get away with the CC first. So greedy started at ByuN, followed by the 2-Rax, followed by an early stim timing. So greedy start into a timing attack. Now, from here, ByuN, he can go for a factory into starport into a 2-on-1, or he can throw down a 3rd Rax and a 4th Rax and turn this into a 4-Rax. We have the answer. He's going for the factory. Meanwhile, the Overlord pokes in. The Overlord does confirm the faster CC. Roach Warren gets thrown down. That is an early Roach Warren. Okay, wait, let him cook, baby. Let him cook. We're staying in gas. Early Roach Warren was staying in gas. Link speed is on the way. Yakov, he saw the early timing. He sees the later factory. And because of the later factory, because of the earlier Marines, because of the earlier CC, ByuN is vulnerable to an all-in. 100%. 100% he is vulnerable. I mean, hey, you took the chance. Remember, ByuN, no SCV Scout. No SCV Scout and no Reaper Scout either. Remember, he skipped the Reaper. He skipped the Reaper. Like, this is greed. This is hyper greed out of ByuN. ByuN is playing blind. He does not know what's going on. He will not know what's going on. And he may just die here. Remember, like, because of the tech lab being on the racks, because of the lack of factory production, there's no tank. There's no tank, there's no Hellions, it's pure vanilla Marine. And no bunker either. we should be getting a safety bunker. I'm hoping we at least get a safety bunker. Otherwise, Yakov, he can pop. Let's go. He's going for it. This is it. We have 6 vanilla marines. And a dream. Sorry, I say 6. We have 9. We have 9 vanilla marines here to defend. Lings they poke in. Remember, there's nothing else behind this. Send it, Papi. Send it. Yakov, you can end it here and now. Let's go. 18 more Lings in production comes in for the surround. Get tossed around. Massive catch. That's going to be 6 marines falling. That was half the marines. And there's 5 left. And there's 5 left. We come in for the surround. And ByuN, he gets punished for his greed again. No SCV scout, no Reaper scout, 0 scouting, 0 information. GG gets called, and YoungYakov, he will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the semis. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A massive upset here. YoungYakov popping off. ByuN, I don't blame him for being greedy on Tokamak, but I mean, there's greed. There's also greed plus 0 scouting. So ByuN, he gets punished. He gets punished for it. YoungYakov, once he saw the timing of the CC, bam, instantly Roach Warren, pulls into gas, commits to the all-in. And what happened? ByuN was caught with the pants were down. Papi, the pants were down completely. GG, well played. Whew, and with that, we have our semis. We have our semifinals ready here. Oh. Okay, here we go. Here we go. As looks like our semifinals are ready for us. Exclamation mark, be in the chat, exclamation mark, be in the chat, so you guys don't have to look back yourselves. As we can switch our scenes over here and catch up with the record. Okay, so we have a lot of updates here. We have YoungYakov, of course, he takes down ByuN 2-1. Crazy result, crazy upset already, as YoungYakov does take down ByuN 2-1. Scoring down, we have Gerald. Gerald takes down Rebellion 2-0. NightMare takes down Nickrak 2-0, and Creator takes down Shameless 2-0. So big results coming in. From here, there is no Terran player. We have the lower semis, which is a PvP between NightMare and Creator, and we have the upper semis, which is going to be a PvZ between YoungYakov and Gerald. Let's go. Let us go. We're going to be setting up here for those semifinals, and we're going to be covering the lower semifinals first. They were ready initially. They were the first to be ready. So NightMare and Creator are about to begin. Meanwhile, the upper semifinals are going to be taking place after this one. We should be covering both semis. So Geralt and YoungYakov, they have some downtime. May as well get all of that ready. So we're nearing the tail end of the tournament here. Basically, we have 3 series remaining. We have upper semis, lower semis, and then the grand finals thereafter. Let's go. Have our top 4 just catching up to the chat. It's the greediest build I've ever seen in a while. There was a lot of greed going on there for ByuN, a lot of greed. When it came to the lack of scouting, when it came to the lack of defensive setup, for sure. Terran seems to be cutting a lot of corners in TVZ in the series I've been watching recently. Well, if you were watching the last series, you would know that that was the only game where that happens. Like game 1 and game 2, we did not see ByuN cutting corners or anything like that. So it might just be just games that stick in your mind as opposed to the majority of the games. That does happen, where if something happens once, like you look in on that despite all the other games happening around it. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into our next game, into our first series, into the semifinals. This morning, in the top left-hand corner of Magnatha, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is NightMare. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss himself. It is Creator. Go. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat as we get into our PvP. Also, I just realized something. Ecstasy. Where were you on the bracket? Where were you, papi? Ay, ay, ay. No, who do we have today? We had Gerald, we had Art, we had Nicaract, we had Matt. Matt almost never wakes up. He almost never... He woke up for the tuna today. Where was the sink? SMH, my hedge. SMH. God. But yeah, I wouldn't say that Terran players have been hyper greedy as of late or anything like that. Recency bias is a thing. So again, maybe just those games stand out in your mind. For now though, 2-gate opener, 2-gate opener out of NightMare, 2-gate opener out of a Creator as well. 2-gate openers all around. Ooh, and NightMare, he does throw down a hidden pylon here on the right-hand side. Now, based on this location, this is either going to be a proxy Stargate or a fake proxy pylon. And as the probe moves away, we'll see if we double back after the Zelnaga tower. We'll see if we can still commit into that. We'll be able to. Yeah, Cybercore is almost done. The probe doesn't turn around. So NightMare going for a fake out. Meanwhile, Creator, he scouts. So Creator, he sees that a pylon is missing. He knows that something is wrong, something is amiss, and is it real, is it fake? It's up to Creator to determine this and to set up safely behind this Stargate opener. Does go for the Stargate before expanding. This allows Creator to harass across the map, to get into oracles, and to deal economic damage. But Creator, he helps to delay his expansion. Just a delay. Creator still searching. See him here on the right hand side. From here, NightMare with his blue station, he's aware of the Stargate. Back at home, he should be getting ready. As he denies the Adept. Wargate soon to complete. Oracle's on the way. As NightMare, he should be ready in time. It's going to be quite clutch here. Yeah, no safety shield battery. But sentries, they do rotate, and they're ready. Okay. We're good. Sentries are in the main. Creator, he dips in. He pokes in, he pulls away. So far, Creator, he isn't really finding any damage. NightMare gets away with a better economy. So NightMare, he's slightly ahead by 3 probes, getting into faster blink. And so far, the Stargate opener, I mean, it hasn't gotten any damage yet, but what's important is that Creator, he still keeps the Oracle alive, right? The Oracle is still alive. The Oracle still has potential to catch out units, to pop off with those stasis traps. As Creator, he only invested into the 1 Oracle. Creator sharking around. Does throw down the 3rd gateway. So does NightMare. Stays trap will okay, not bad. Delays the expansion, snipes the pylon, or at least attempts to. Oh, gets a probe. Slick moves out of Creator. Delaying the expansion. This notifies Creator to expand. So its Pro moves out. Nexus on the way. Creator is catching up. So third bases are neck and neck. Blink is now almost done for Creator. There was a window of time. There was an opportunity here for maybe Blink Stalkers to get damage done for NightMare, but I didn't quite hit it. Left side shade into the mineral line. Getting 3, getting 4 probe kills already. Not bad. Probes to go down. Oh, can he bait him in? He can! Yeah, nice bait. Stasis goes off. But Creator, he doesn't really have enough to capitalize on this army. Creator, he pulls away. Taking up into charge. This time NightMare's paying attention. This time I believe he's aware of at least one stasis trap. No, he's not! It does take it to the face again. Yeah, another stasis goes off. Speaking of stasis trap into the main base, this time NightMare, he does react, he does pull away, still gets caught out though. That's 6 probes getting caught. Ay. NightMare. Oh, as the Oracle finally goes down. Was sniped. Creator back at home. He's now catching up in army supply. Charge is finishing, and Creator, he will have an earlier charge timing. Let's go. Yo, meanwhile, a big shout out to Hatsu in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you. Oh, wait, that was good. Thank you so much. I hope you had a great time in the event, and I hope you were able to cover some games as well. I know that Hatsu was streaming, was casting earlier. True. We were following YoungYakov. Following Yakov. Sniper does pull back. NightMare still poking in. Oh. You see NightMare picking up a couple of extra Stalkers here, so better trades for NightMare. Charge is catching up for both players. Creator, he starts +2. +2 is going to be another big power spike for Creator. Potentially. There might be a window of opportunity. But for the most part, we're just calming down. We're expanding. 4th base is on the way. We're building up into a longer mid-game. And from here, we should be rounding out our armies. Charge, Blink Stalkers, Archons. We're not quite there yet. There's a Temple Archives for NightMare, so we can start morphing in Archons soon. And we should soon be seeing that from Creator. There it is, Temple Archives for Creator as well. The way this composition works here is that as you get further into the game, Zealots do an amazing job when it comes to tanking Stalker shots and also closing distance and trading with Stalkers as well. They play a similar role here in the army as Zerglings in ZVP, for example. Where Zerglings also trade quite well against Stalkers because of the low attack rate. Right, Stalkers have a low attack rate. They can be a little bit more awkward against melee-based units like that. So, as a result, both players have to get into Zealots, and from there, how do you counter Zealots? Well, Archons. Technically, you can go into Colossus, right? There are some niche builds where you can go into Robo Colossus production, but for the most part, Archons are a little bit more of a natural transition here. As Zealots are prone to clumping, and Archon volleys can shut Zealots down so hard. So we'll see how many Archons get incorporated. So far we have 2 Archons for NightMare, 1 Archon for Creator. As Creator did actually remake the Oracle. He's got a lot of stasis traps, he's hurling up quite hard. Stasis gets baited. NightMare's maxed. Does rotate around, catching out some stalkers. Again, Creator, he has a bit of a, he's a little bit more reliant on these stalkers. Stage trap goes off, nice connection, and now he can go for it. He can go for it. Now Creator, he can dive in. Now's his moment. From here he commits. Archon gets a lot of volleys off. A lot of zealots are going to be going down. Stalkers are trying to break through. We have a lot of zealots here stuck behind the army. So a bit of an awkward fight. NightMare is pushing in. He's pushing in. Stage trap does run out. And where are the zealots? They're nowhere to be found. The Archons, they break through the zealots. And NightMare, he's on it. He pushes in. Oh no, another stasis goes off. But I believe NightMare should still have enough. He still has enough anyway. Takes out all the stalkers, pushes it to the base. And GG gets caught. NightMare, he breaks through despite the stasis trap. Very impressive. And NightMare, he will take a lead in the series. GG, well played. Again, Creator, he was able to get a better angle. He was able to catch that stasis trap on most of those stalkers, but we saw that alas, the zealots are all clumped up on the left hand side. The zealots for Creator was stuck attacking the Archons. All the zealots went down, and with that, NightMare took a much more efficient fight, able to break on through. Just a little bit of a lopsided kind of angle there from Creator. He wasn't necessarily spread out as well as he would have liked to have been. He wasn't split up, I should say, as well as he should have been, and with that, GG. With that, GG, well played. With that, NightMare, he takes the fight, and he takes the game then and there. Oh, there was a lot of potential with the stasis traps, but as we saw, like, there was some good traps going off, but not enough, man. Not enough. So GG, well played. With that, NightMare takes the lead, and now we're getting into game number 2. Go. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner here on Persephone, we do have the blue Protoss player. The blue Protoss, we have the South Green Protoss leading the series 1-0 for Streamer Zone. It is NightMare. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player. We have the red Protoss himself, also from South Korea, down in the series. Can he bounce back, and can he force the ace match? It is Creator. Go. As NightMare does take a lead. Now when it comes to the previous game, we were on Maganatha. Maganatha is the largest map in the map pool, so we're a little bit more prone for longer later games and a little bit more downtime on Maganatha. Here, as related to Persephone, the rush distance by ground is shorter, so we're expecting more aggression in the mid game here between our two players. We could even commit to an actual proxy. We'll see. As last game, NightMare did go for a fake proxy pylon. 2-gate opener to NightMare, 2-gate opener to Creator. Probes do move out. And we'll see where we're headed. Oh, okay. This is a prime location for a proxy robo. NightMare, does he commit? Show us the pylon, show us the robo. Probe moves in. Yep, there's the pylon. He will commit. Creator going for a fake proxy pylon. NightMare going for a very real one. Okay. Now, technically, Creator... No, never mind. I was going to say you could double back and we can go for a proxy Stargate. Not uncommon to go for a proxy Stargate here, but alas, the probe commits to the scout. So it is a fake pylon out of Creator. Meanwhile, a very real one from NightMare. Cybercore is almost done. Cybercore does complete. Oh, and there it is. Yeah, there it is. There's the robo. There's the one base all in. So NightMare is going to double down. Meanwhile, Creator, he's coming in for the scout. He still has yet to confirm. And he soon will. Probe does arrive. Creator, he gets behind the mineral line. He sees that there's a pylon in production. But that is the third pylon. And Creator, he's looking. He knows. Like, he knows, okay, something's wrong. A pylon is missing. He's looking, he's scouting. Checks one of the more common proxy locations. Adepts, they shut down the scouting probe. And Creator, he expands. Oh, no. That's a Nexus before the tech. Remember, last game, NightMare also went for a fake out. Remember that. He went for a fake pylon last game. This time it's real. And Creator, he is going for a greedy response. Now, Creator, he can still get away with this, of course, but it's going to be much more difficult for Creator, as he decided to go for the base instead of a Stargate or instead of a Robo. As we're going for a Robo after the expansion. Creator, he finds it. Creator, he's now aware. Immortal production has begun. Sentries a zone away. So far, so good. Zone away the Prism. But again, that's going to be a big Immortal lead that NightMare has compared to Creator. NightMare throws down his third gateway. Warping in sentries. He could be cheeky, he could force field the ramp. Creator, he has to be careful. Of course, he has force fields himself. NightMare's moving in. He's got his first Immortal. Going for one extra warp in, and now he's going for it. Yeah, he commits. Force fields a try to stun away the Immortal. Immortal does back up. Saves the Stalkers. Nice control there by NightMare, and the force field so far, they buy enough time for the first Immortal to arrive. Creator, he's holding. Oh, the force field! Oh, he does force field the ramp. Army's juggling in, and do we have a second force field? Oh, no, it's gonna be close. He does have one. Yeah, he has one, and Creator, he's stuck. Yeah, he's stuck on the low ground. Creator, he cannot move in. Artosis pylon goes down. GG gets called. Creator just caught with his pants down on the low ground, and NightMare will take the series 2-0. GG. GG, well played. Ay. Creator just outpositioned. A cheeky move out of NightMare to get up the ramp, to get into the main base, to force field, and that's game. That's game then and there. The only way to counter that is if you have a recall. I didn't quite check, but I assume because there was no recall that Creator, he had no NG in the main base. If he did have NG, then a recall could have been used there to recall into the main and then try to have defense that way. But again, that's only if you have the NG for it. Otherwise, GG. Otherwise, GG, well played. Otherwise, you have to be in position. And with that, NightMare, he does claim it. And with that, NightMare is our first finalist. He does advance on to the grand finals, and he's waiting for the winner of our next series. Up next, we have the upper semis. It's going to be a best of 3 between YoungYakov and Gerald. Let's go. Let's go. Here we go. Well, that's GG, well played. Congratulations to NightMare as he does advance on, and we are getting ready for our next series. Oh, just catching up in the chat. Done dirty. It's a cheeky move you can go for, going for the force field like that. Very cheeky. And it can be really difficult to see coming ahead of time, right? To actually get in position and to zone away the opposing War Prism and to zone away the army. You have very little time to react to that. As it looks like we might be going on a very short break. Okay, it looks like we're going to be going on a short break here. Again, YoungYakov versus Gerald is going to be coming up next year in the semifinals. We do need a moment for the videos to conclude, and then we'll have our PVZ. See you soon. See you soon after this very short break. See you soon. Bye. Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the semifinals, the upper semis of the Sparkling Tuna Cup, the Sparkling Tuna Cup number 107. We already have our first finalist, NightMare. NightMare, he's already made it through to the grand finals, and he's waiting for either a Protoss or a Zerg opponent. Who is it going to be? As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Incorporeal, we have the Polish Protoss player, we have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg player himself. It is YoungYakov. The ByuN Slayer, papi. Ay, ay, ay. Here we go. As we are here, we are back. We are jumping into our best of 3. And if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is a Gamba time. Predictions are open. Predictions are open. Place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Best of luck in the chat. As YoungYakov, he's gone through the gauntlet today. He won the ZVZ. He beat Wayne. Like, Wayne was not an easy first round opponent. He beats Wayne in the first round. He beats ByuN, a Terran player, in the second round. And can he go for the hat trick? Can he go for the trifecta? Can he bring down a Protoss in the semifinals? That's going to be a tougher call to ask. I will say. God, no. We'll see if YoungYakov can bring Gerald down. Gerald, of course, he is one of the best Protoss players in all of Europe. He is one of the heavy hitters in this tournament and primed to go far in this event. We'll see if he can go further. We'll see if he can keep going. We'll see how he can threaten, or we'll see how he compares to YoungYakov. I mentioned before that YoungYakov, he's been a little bit less active after EWC, so I'm curious to see how he does compare. Oh, as so far, hatch gas pool. Standard opener out of YoungYakov. And Gerald back at him, just going for his own standard opener. Well, the Zoomers are speaking. So we just see Yakov, he says Zerg, and then Gerald Protoss. Then we have the poop emoji. No. It's a very highbrow conversation being held here. I can tell. It's very but yes, we do have the new PTR patch announced. We have yet to really discuss it officially. We've kind of briefly spoken about it here and there on streams. Probably going to wait for the podcast before we go a little bit more in depth. But what's important and what I find the most exciting about the patch is that we have already gotten amendments. It's been like less than a week. It's been less than a week since the PTR went live with the proposed patch, and there's already been changes to the patch as well. And that's maybe the best thing, that's maybe the most exciting thing about StarCraft right now is, hey, the people at Blizzard who just proposed the balance patch, they're listening. They're listening to feedback. They're taking in feedback. They're proposing changes. They're amending things. They're being active right now. And I will say this, and it's important to bear this in mind, especially if you're out there, if you're looking at the patch notes and if you find issues with it, it is important to vocalize your feedback. It's important to test as well. I know that we are going to be next week starting to run all of our tournaments on the PTR as Stalker does kill an Overlord. But what's important is that this is not now, I think it's been, because it's been a couple of days, because it's been less than a week, I guarantee you this is not the final version of the patch. No shot. Not after like what, 4 or 5 days. Yeah, I want to say like 4 days of the patch going live, of there being a change being made. Most likely they're going to be listening to more feedback. Most likely they're going to be gaining that kind of intel, that feedback, especially from PTR related tournaments, and making decisions and making changes moving forward for the eventual final patch in a couple of months. I said in a couple of months, most likely coming into end of October, beginning of November. So that's what's exciting, is that there's like iteration. And I don't think we've had that in a long time. Even when ESL were proposing patches, it would typically take weeks for any kind of change to the PTR. There would be some changes to the PTR, but like they'd be few and far between. And more often than not, whenever a balance patch was proposed, like it would typically be committed to. So yeah, that's maybe the most exciting thing that's happening when it comes to you know, the patch, and when it comes to what's happening with Blizzard. Meanwhile, Glavedeps. Stargate opener into a fast Twilight Council into Glavedeps here from Gerald. Let's go. With this, YoungYakov, if he's skipping tech, he's going to be in danger. And what do we see? We see not just one Evo chamber, we see a second Evo chamber. Yakov may just die. What's important about what's happening? No Roach Warren, No Baneling Nest. Yakov is cutting corners. He's cutting corners. He's being greedy. He's going Mass Ling. Now, if he does make enough Lings, if Yakov does not drone, then Mass Ling can deal with this, but only if he doesn't drone. If he doesn't make a lot of Lings soon, then Mass Adept will overwhelm the Zerglings, will break through, and will potentially deal critical damage. As Gerald, he is moving out. Glaives are now done. I will say this is a little bit, yeah, it looks like we missed a warp in. Yeah, Gerald, he did miss a warp in. So that's why Gerald, he's banking up minerals and banking up gas. So a little bit lackluster when it comes to the execution. This is going to give YoungYakov more time. As Gerald, he's banking 1,000 minerals. Jesus. Like, Gerald, now is not the time. Unfortunately, he got supply blocked as well. He got supply blocked. He missed a warp in. There are less adepts to work with. Nice drone drilling here. Oh my, Yakov. He drone drills down the adepts to death, and with that, Yakov, he defends. Still will lose 5 drones in the process, but that could have been so much. Oh, God, never mind. And that could have been so much worse, as the more drones are going to be going down. In the end, it's 7 worker kills. Lings, they come in. They come in, they surround, they shut down the adepts. And Yakov holds. Yakov, he does hold, and we gotta spend our money. We need to spend our money. This is some shaky play out of Gerald. Does still get 3 drones across the map. Gerald, he's still banking almost 1,000 minerals. He throws down a gateway explosion, double forge. So messy here from Gerald. Lings, they come over the surround, but there is blink. Oh, no, sorry, there isn't. No blink, no blink. Stalkers, they get locked down, and YoungYakov, he can break in. Yeah, he can break in. Adepts are wreaking havoc. We're getting very messy. We're getting messy. Drones are falling left and right. Yakov, he's all in. This is the Oracle. Yeah, the Oracle will defend. And Yakov, he will lose everything. 15 drones go down. Despite the messy setup here from Gerald, he defends and he attacks, and Gerald, he gets ahead. He takes a lead as he's still not done. And they shed into the main. They get 1 more drone. That is 22 drone kills in total. That is a critical damage. And Yakov, we gotta make something happen here. He's going Mass Zergling, he's going for Overlord speed. That looks like Dropper-Lords. Link is still not yet done. Yakov, can he surround? He's trying. Oh, does knock down some of the Stalkers. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 Stalkers going out. 4 Stalkers even. Not bad. But that 1 Oracle defends. And Gerald's getting further ahead. Look at the worker count. Look at the economy here. Gerald, he has 80 probes. He's on 4 bases. Meanwhile, we have a 4-basing Zerg player with less workers. Now taking a bit of Hive. Now, based on what YoungYakov has right now, what do you see? No Hydroden, no Roach Warren, no Spire. It looks like Ling into Ultras, right? This looks like Ultra Tech. This can work if you have map control, if you have momentum, but if you don't, this is very difficult here, as it's quite expensive. Like, it's very expensive getting into Mass Ultra, and getting into Mass Ultra from behind is it's brutal. It's not easy. And there it is. There's the Ultra Cavern. Again, like what we're seeing out of YoungYakov, like we've seen it before. Like this is a build that Dark used to be quite fond of, but the difference is, what would Dark be doing with Mass Ling? He'd be killing bases. He'd be getting mineral lines. He'd be killing Stalkers. He'd be gaining map control and keeping the Protoss player contained, and just being able to do so with pure Ling. YoungYakov, he, I would say, failed to achieve that. As a result, Stalkers are poking into Sniper Expansion. Yep, we have Adepts on one side, Stalkers on the other. Meanwhile, Yakov going for the Mass Doom drop. We gotta commit, we gotta go for it. Ooh, knocks down the rocks. And this base will go down. The base will go down, a recall is available. Lings, they flood into the main. There's a recall. And Gerald, he defends. Gerald, he defends the main base. Lings, they hit the natural. This is where damage can be done. Gets 4 probes. It's okay. Oh, getting more. 8 probe kills. Lings, they catch out the Adepts. Yakov, he's getting some damage. It's something. 8 probes, get some adepts. His eyes are on the space, his 5th base should be denied. And again, this is okay damage, but we still need more than this. As that was a kill. Oh, okay. That was a kill, not a cancel. Storm is done. Storm is done. Hatchery is denied. And Gerald, he might just have too much here. How many storms does he have? 1 Templar? Ooh, okay. Only 1. Yakov, he can hold. He has 6 ultras on the way. The intern is back from the gap year. Ah, he has returned. I think that was my favorite comments. I think someone said when the announcement happened, when it comes to the updated patch notes, is the intern got promoted. He is no longer the intern back. He got promoted. Crazy. Ah. The hopium is real. The hopium. The intern actually getting paid. Crazy, crazy. As both armies are maxing out, Gerald is working towards Skytoss, Mothership's on the way, going into double robo into Mass Immortal. But the Immortals aren't ready yet, so right now we do have a big power spike for YoungYakov. He has how many Ultras? 6. 6 Ultralisks. With a couple of Infestors. And right now there's how many Immortals? I believe 0. Yeah, 0 Immortals. Now double robo is built to make Mass Immortal, but Gerald's not there yet. Where's the rest of the army? Ultras, they move in. Gonna be deflected. Ultras, they defend back at home. Now, as time goes on, Gerald's gonna get further ahead. What do we have? Immortals, right? The Immortals are amassing. Tempest production has begun. Gerald, he's refining his army. Meanwhile, YoungYakov, he's stuck with all these Ultras. We're gonna make something happen here. Spires on the way. Spires in production. They break through the front door. And they break through the gateways. Yakov is going for the 3rd. Always a pull away in time. 0 economic damage. At least no probe kills, I should say. Does get the expansion though. Oh, we're coming in for the new. Oh my god! we massed Nero the Stalkers. Let's go. As he does focus himself down. Catching out Stalkers. Maybe not the best neural choices there, as the Immortals did survive and so did the Archons. I mean, it's something. The problem is now YoungYakov, he has to wait for the Infestors to recharge. But at least they survive. Let's just take it away. Remember, Gerald, he has an economy, so he's building up more Immortals. That's a lot of Immortals already. And this is what we have to get out of Ultra, I would say. Just due to the sheer Immortal count. There are how many? There are 6 Immortals already. Soon to be 8. Now, all this changes, of course, if we can neural, right? If we can neural all the Immortals, then that doesn't matter. Ready to roll in. They do not connect with the High Templar, which means feedbacks are available. Again, that's the goal, that's the hope. Just to catch out those Templar. Storm, it doesn't really do much here. Nice feedbacks, yeah, feedbacks on the Infestors, we spoke about that. Does land a couple of Neurals. Gets an Archon, gets an Immortal. Going for the Microbial Shroud. But the choke one here is brutal. And the Ultras, they cannot quite get in. The Stasis trap, there we go. Stasis runs out. You all see Archons. Doesn't get on top of the Immortals though. And Gerald, he holds. Yeah, Gerald, he does hold. Does force this back. When it comes to the trades, oh, that was 5 Infestors being thrown away. Brutal losses. And Gerald, he punishes. Gerald does punish. Now, Gerald did lose a mineral line. True, he lost the mineral line, and you could argue that even though, like, efficiency-wise, that was much more efficient from Gerald, that is true, without an economy, YoungYakov can just remax. YoungYakov, he can rebuild, he can remax, and Gerald cannot, as his economy is stifled. So Yakov making more Corruptor, now getting into Corruptor production. Setting up for a flank. On one side. The wall was rebuilt. Does force a recall. Things, they almost get in. Oh, they get a decent surround. Gets the High Templar, okay. Slice 1 Templar. Lings, they trade well. Again, they're Cracklings. +3 with Adrenal. He's popping off. We've got 7 more Infestors on the way. And again, if we can neural those Immortals and the Archons, or a mixture of the two. Oh, Ultras too soon? Yeah, the Ultras, they do move a little bit too far ahead. He got the neurals. Yeah, he gets 1, he gets 2. Gets 3 Immortals. Yeah, and with that, he can turn the tides of the fight. He's pushing in. Does push in. The Immortals, they do help out. Ooh, but the Ultras do fall. And Yakov, he doesn't quite break the army. He plummets the supply. Remember, this is an expensive army. He's got 6 more Ultras on the way. Does save the Infestors, though. Does save them. He pulls back. There's a lot of creep to work through. Assimilation. This feels like a little bit of a waste, but I mean, I guess. As this hatchery is going to go down. Ooh, Zelaramo's on the left-hand side. Drones are falling left and right. Yakov, he's hurting. As he will lose the base. Murals a couple of Immortals. Doesn't quite snipe both. Oh, no, the Infestors, yeah, bit of miscontrol. Infestors, they push too far forward. Lands one of the bungles. Where are the Neurals? Yeah, Neurals are late. Late Neurals. And Gerald, he'll take the fight. He'll take the fight. GG gets called. Gerald, he will take game number 1. Whew, GG. A wild style here out of YoungYakov. Had a lot of potential, but as you saw, YoungYakov, his economy was not as ideal as it needed to be, especially on Incorporeal. It can be very difficult to actually maintain your fringe bases as they are so exposed. We saw mineral line after mineral line, base after base going down for YoungYakov. He could not sustain himself. Did have some nice fights, did have some nice moments, but in the end, he was still trading inefficiently against Gerald. In the end, Gerald did persevere. GG. GG, well played. Again, to make the style work, you need to have the economic lead. You need to have a bank because of how expensive those Ultras are. So it's not easy to make work. Not easy. As without that economy, you just burn through your bank so quickly. And now we're getting into game 2. And we'll see if Gerald can clean up this series and take the 2-0. We'll see if YoungYakov can fight back. As we are loading into the largest map of the map pool, let's go. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Maganatha, we have the blue Protoss player. The blue Protoss, we have the Polish Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the red Zerg player, the red Zerg player himself. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. It is YoungYakov. Here we go. I see Senju asking in the chat, is this current patch or PTR? If we ever do host PTR tournaments, then the phrasing PTR will most likely be in the title of the stream. Will be in the title. Just like with if we're playing like on a mod, for example. So you can keep an eye for that. Otherwise, assume current patch, man. Current patch. Estes, calm down, Cyberjoe. Calm down. Ay. You're an animal. But again, we should be hosting our events on the PTR starting next week. We should be moving our events over. I don't know about the other weeklies. I know Monday Night Weekly already switched over to the PTR. I don't have any news regarding Pegasus Cup, KSL, or Wardy TV Monday. I don't have confirmation regarding that. But we'll be switching all of ours over. Like we typically try to do or get as much testing as possible. Same when it comes to the TLMC maps. We'll most likely be switching to the TLMC map finalists whenever they get announced as well, for all of our maps, or for all of our tournaments as well. All the TLMC maps. Otherwise, we have our Stargate opener out of Gerald, Stargate opener into a third base, everything looking normal, everything looking standard. As a reminder, last game, Gerald did go for a Glaive Adepts. Did go for Glaives as a follow-up, which had mixed results. I mean, remember, the game got very messy. If you recall, YoungYakov was losing a lot of drones. Gerald, he was losing some units here to the Massling. Like, it was a very messy start that Gerald took a lead in, for sure. Did have a stronger early to mid-game. Yakov, he almost brought it back with the Ultras, but it wasn't quite enough. Not quite. Oh, as that is a Void Ray opener. Okay, going for the Void Ray instead of the Oracle. KSL was on the live patch. We casted KSL. KSL was on the current patch. I'm referring to next week's KSL. I'm referring to the upcoming events. The one downside of the PTR is that I believe there's only one server for the PTR, and I believe it's US Central. So that's the one downside, is that it forces everyone to play on worse servers. So that's the one thing that would be stopping people from running events on the PTR. As we're going for a duel in, Jesus. YoungYakov, he cuts workers. He drones up to 34, a very low drone count, basically just under 2 base economy. And it's purely Link Queen. Pure Link Queen flood. Here we go. Going for the all-in. Lings are flooding across the map. Queens are waddling across as well. As Lings do break in. Do break in. They take down the Adept. Bust into the natural. And so far... Oh! Yeah, probes are falling. He does get in. This is still not enough damage, though. Late Baneliness. Oh, trying to go for a Bane Bust follow-up. As things get 11 probe kills in the main. Nice damage. Again, the wall was open. It's still open. And here come the Queens. Here comes the Queens. They're waddling in. The Queens have finally made it. As the Queens have arrived. Baileys are morphing in. And what's scary is that Gerald, he doesn't see this coming. Remember, what did he do? He opened up Void Ray, not Oracle. And the Oracle's at home as well, so 0 scouting. Yeah, 0 scouting information. Lings get a surround. They get one of the Stalkers. Shield already putting in a lot of Jesus. Never mind. The shield already pops up. Nice baiting connections. But Gerald, he's trading very well against these Lings. Void Ray goes down. No transfuse. No transfuse, no creep. Lings, they flood in. But yeah, YoungYakov, he's not doing enough here. He's not doing enough damage. He's down to 2 queens. Does not get a stalker. There's the NG overcharge. And Gerald, he holds. Gerald, he does hold. There's 1 queen left. 1 queen remaining. I say that with all these links flooding in, we will barely clean this up here. Yakov, just barely. He barely breaks through. Takes down all the stalkers. Took down the Oracle. And Yakov, he will take down the 3rd base. And behind this, now we start droning. Now we start droning. Now we start saturating. Workers are on the way. And with that, does get the expansion, does get the 3rd. That's the bare minimum that YoungYakov was hoping for. Kills the base, gets a couple of probe kills. And we just gotta drone. We just gotta drone up as much as we can. Yakov's droning. Hydroden's on the way. Again, it took a long time. It was a very long attack, very long assault. Eventually broke down the 3rd. Eventually. From here, the lair is done. Taking up into Hydras. Oh, gets us around. Once again, does around. And Yakov, he's now massing up Link Hydra. He's done droning up to just under 3 base saturation. Gerald's going for a counterattack, but YoungYakov is in control here. He has plenty to work with. And Yakov, he should save the expansion. With the arrival of the Hydras, I should say. Hydras are coming. Hydras are coming in. No stasis wards. No stasis traps to fall back to. Gerald, he chooses not to expand. He's going for, I believe, an 8k 2 base all in. Yep, 8 gateways. So one way or another, the game is about to end. Either Gerald kills YoungYakov, but he dies trying. Gets 1, gets 2 stalkers. Oh. Barely gets a 3rd. Their stalker goes out. That's a lot of deadlings. Depowers the gateway. That will delay reinforcements. That will delay. Yakov making as many Zerglings as he can. 22 more links in production. He needs those Zerglings. As there are now stasis traps. Likewise, it's a lot of stalkers. Yakov now taking him into a lurker den. Bold move, very bold. If he can get to lurkers, he can win the game. But they're a ways away. Ooh, stasis goes off. A nice stasis trap, nice force fields. A lot of waste DPS with the Hydras. Yakov starts stepping in, takes down all the sentries. Takes care of all the Zelts as well. He's holding. And Yakov, he's holding on. The stage trap about to run out. Going for the gateway, shuts it down. No more warpins, no more reinforcements. And GG gets called. YoungYakov, he holds. He survives the all-in. And YoungYakov will force the ace match. GG. Whew. GG, well played. We are going all the way to game 3. And we'll see how this story ends. We'll see if this goes the way of Gerald or YoungYakov. One final game of the series. Uno más, papi. Uno más. Oh. Here we go. As we are getting into as we get into that final game, loading into Persephone. as we're now getting into the final game of the series, the ace match, and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Persephone, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss. Representing Streamer Zone, it is Gerald. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player himself, it is YoungYakov. We go. From here, we do have our standard openers. They're calming down, we're settling in, and so far it's been a very aggressive series. Game 1, we had Gerald going into Glaive Adepts. Game 2, we had YoungYakov going for the Master Link Queen all-in. In Game 3, I'm expecting aggression as well from one of our two players. Most likely YoungYakov, but we'll see. I would imagine that Gerald's going to slow things down and try to be a little bit more defensive here, even blindly. We'll see how YoungYakov will approach this. Show us what you got. But at least I've gotten all that I wanted. Ace match. Let's go. Regardless of how this goes, we go all the way to Game 3. We're greedy like that, man. We're greedy. So we find ourselves in that ace match, and from here we're going to be droning. Interesting placement for the pylon. Typically, if we go for a Stargate opener, we throw down the pylon closer to the edge of the main base to get your Oracle across the map faster. Here it's further back. It could still be a Stargate, but last game, Gerald did open up Void Ray, if you recall. Did go for the Void Ray. There's that Stargate. Overlord is yet to confirm. So we have our standard third base timing, and we'll see if we go for another Void Ray or an Oracle. Eyes are on Gerald. This is where YoungYakov just cuts workers here and just makes nothing but lings. So Yakov, he's still on a low drone count, 26. We should be droning up a little bit further at least, even if we were to go for an all-in. There we go. Some drones are on the way. Actually droning up. At least somewhat. And it is Oracle first, no Void Ray. So we're calming things down. Everything's looking normal here. We have the Oracle opener into a third base. From here, we should be able to just saturate a little bit, get an extra gateway up and running, go for a later Twilight Council. Oh, that is a fast lair. Okay. Yeah, my attention. That is what, a 3:35-ish lair timing? Jesus. So very early lair here by YoungYakov. Queens, they zone away. They deny the scouts. Yeah, God, he does not scout. He does not know. Now, with the fast lair, what could this be? A couple of different things. Could be Nidus, right? This could be a Link Queen Nidus all-in. This could be fast Mutaplay even, as the Oracle does rotate around, heads towards the natural base. Queens, they do deny once again. Denies even scouting yet the attempted gases. Okay. Gas is now on the way. They were hidden. They were delayed because the Oracle tries to go back in. Up. Oh, he gets in. Yeah, he does get in. Big scout here. Sees the gases. Sees the lair that's almost complete. And, oh god, with that, mining is going to be denied. Gets a full scout. It is going to be fast Hydra. Okay, not Nidus. Going for fast Hydras. Station trap goes off the main. No reaction. No response. Massive connection. And we're not stopped. We're going to stasis everything. YoungYakov, oh, thankfully does pull away. Does pull away, but these have been brutal stasis traps. And again, Gerald, he got what he needed. He got the scouting information. He knows. He confirms the tech. He knows it's not Hydras. Sorry, he knows it's not Aspire. It's not Mutas. He knows it's not Nidus. Now, rushing into a hydrogen like this, there is a build that Soul is very fond of. I would imagine this is it. It is a 3-base Ling Hydra all-in, where you get a 4th base just for Larva, and you don't get an Eva Chamber. If so, the fact that there's no Eva Chamber here, the fact that we have a fast hydrogen, leads me to believe it's going to be a Ling Hydra all-in, but we'll see. As we have seen this plenty of times from Solar. Was very fond of it in the first half of the year. Stalkers, they rotate in. Yakov, he's cutting workers at 60. He's taking the 4th base just for Larva. Goes up to 5 gases. And as you can see, he's not droning up anymore. And he's not getting an Eva Chamber. So this does look like that Ling Hydra all-in. Oh boy. And now we have Hydra range on the way. Again, only the Hydra upgrades, nothing else. Only those upgrades. And YoungYakov is about to spike up in supply. He's about to spike up. Behind this, Gerald, he's still working on his gateway composition. No fast splash damage. Lings they perk in, so does Gerald. We're trading bases, but remember, YoungYakov, he intends to keep going. He's taking down this base and he wants more than that. So there's a recall. There's a recall back home, does not get the expansion, which means that YoungYakov sells Larva. This is a little bit too soon though. Yakov, we're gonna calm down. Backs off. Catches out a couple of stalkers. And Yakov, he starts droning. Okay, he does decide to drone up. So he's droning, he's working towards the lurker den. Now, we have some pros and some cons here. On the one hand, he denied the 4th base. I don't think that was enough though. Basically what's happening here is that YoungYakov, he has decided he cannot kill Gerald. He cannot kill him, or he doesn't want to try to kill him. So now we're taking, now we're droning, but this is all late. So late drones, late saturation, and lack of upgrades as well, lack of Eva chambers. So we're going for another big power spike with lurker tech. It's going to be lair tech lurkers. Remember, no infestation, but either no hive. The lair tech lunkers back. This is a unique variation. Like typically, I don't see Solar going into this. Like you just commit to Ling Hydra, you just double down with Ling Hydra. To drone up and to go into lair tech lurkers is a bold move. We'll see if it pays off. Do we have any detection? 2 oracles. The oracles are still alive. Lurkers are morphing in. And we'll see if YoungYakov can make this work. Nice denial. Nice contamination. Contaminate +2. Stalkers are moving in. Yakov out of position. He will save the base. Trying to loop the army in. Lurkers are going for a counterattack. And lurkers are moving out. And again, this is it. This is the Hail Mary play for YoungYakov. Sets up in between the bases. And he should be on hold position. The hold position lurkers. He's luring him in. Let's go. And we're holding on. We're holding off on those lurkers. We're waiting. That's it. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Does attack. Does catch out the stalkers. Massive connections. He's going for the kill. Very nice moves here from YoungYakov. Is it going to be enough though? Zells do warp in. That was maybe the best fight that YoungYakov could hope for. But the lurkers are still exposed. And Gerald, can he hold on? There's 2 lurkers left. Still 2. As he's getting some lurkers, he's going to be able to reset. But there's only a handful of stalkers remaining. Only a handful of stalkers. 1 lurker survives. And Yakov is rallying everything across. Oh no, we have left some lurkers behind. Bring him in, Pappy. There we go. Bring him in. Again, we saw the whole position lurkers last series against ByuN. Here we saw them against Gerald. The setup, papi. It was crazy. He laid the trap. God, he walked into it in more ways than one. Storm is a non-factor. Got a High Templar, but zero Storm. Mothership's on the way. And Lurkers, they wedge themselves in between the bases. Again, the Lair Tech Lunkers, baby. Let's go. Yakov pushes in. Going for the natural. And GG gets called. YoungYakov will take the series 2-1, advancing on to the grand finals. GG. Whew. GG, well played. YoungYakov. Ay. GG, well played. Congratulations here to YoungYakov as he was claiming the series 2-1. He had so little faith in himself, even against Wayne, by the way, but he takes down Wayne, takes down ByuN, takes down Gerald as well, takes down one of each race, and he has made it to the grand finals. Ay. GG, well played. With that, YoungYakov does claim it, and we have our two finalists. Here. Up next, we have the grand finals. It's going to be a best of 5 between YoungYakov and NightMare. Let's go. GG, well played again. A very impressive performance there by YoungYakov. A really interesting play as well. Again, I was caught off guard by the Lair Tech Lurkers as well, and it was really cool to see him not make use of it in the main army, but sneak up behind the Stalkers of Gerald, set up in between the bases, and stay there on hold position, wait for Gerald to walk over the army, and then bam! The trap was sprung, and Yakov dominated from there. GG, well played. Crazy moves there out of YoungYakov. Very impressive. But now he has a titan of an opponent. Up next is going to be YoungYakov versus NightMare. Oh boy. Now before then, of course, you know what time it is. It is time for that La Rifa. Who is Yakov? Solar? Yakov is Yakov. If you're maybe a little bit newer to StarCraft, you might not be familiar. I was referring to Solar just because of the build of choice. That's why I was bringing up Solar's name, referring to the Ling Hydra all-in. YoungYakov, I want to say he started competing and he started getting on our radar like in 2020 during the COVID era of StarCraft. A lot of these younger players did pop up during, you know, that COVID era, when they had more time to compete, as they were staying at home, of course. More time to compete, more time to face up. So he's been around for competing at least at this level of play for around like 5 years. 5 years. So if you're a little bit newer, you might not be familiar. Understandable. As from here, we're getting into our next series. Here we go. Of course, not so young anymore. True. But before the finals, you know what time it is. It is time for the raffle. It is raffle time. La Rifa. Again, every single week we do host a random raffle for our players. All of our players are eligible, of course, as long as you have competed and played in today's matches. So regardless of when you got knocked out in the tournament, if you got knocked out in the first round, or if you're in the finals, you are equally eligible for 5 USD. Nothing crazy, but 5 USD is available to a random player. But the problem here, or I should say the caveat, is that you have to have played your games. For example, there was a forfeit. As you can see here, Percival did forfeit in the round 16, so Percival is ineligible for the random raffle. But everyone else, they checked in, they played, they competed, so they're able to take part. Here. And this week, one player does walk away a little bit richer. This week, the random raffle winner is... hold on. This is where I need like a little like drum set. I need so this week, here we go. This week, congratulations to to one of our finalists, papi. Congratulations to NightMare. He is one of our finalists, of course. He made it through the lower brackets, and NightMare will have a boosted prize pool as he does walk away with 5 extra USD on top of his earnings in this tournament as well. He's double dipping, papi. He's double dipping. NightMare. Meanwhile, of course, shout out to the runner-ups. We have Wayne as he prom ByuN there as well. Sebestes, Ragnar. But last, NightMare does win the random raffle. Congratulations. Congratulations to NightMare, as now we can focus on... Oh. As a reminder, this is going to be a best of 5 as we are getting into our grand finals. Of course, hashtag rigged in the chat, as always, as always. True, true. Hashtag rigged. As we are getting into those finals, Vitas are done, and game 1 is going to be on torches. Oh, let's go. Let us go. It's going to randomly go to Rebellion again. Close. Another Korean Protoss, but not quite Rebellion. Close, though, close. Almost. As spawning in the top right hand corner of torches, we have the orange Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss, representing Streamer Zone and winning the random raffle tonight. True, that's really the biggest title. It is NightMare. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg. He just took down Wayne, Gerald, and ByuN as well. He's been on a tear tonight. Already a crazy performance. It is YoungYakov. And as we get into the finals, a big shout out in the chat to Nemesis Scab. Thank you so much, Nem, for the raid. Nem, of course, an old school part of the stream, actually. Like, Nem even getting fan art at some points. Nem was a very active player in our amateur tournament scene, and of course a big part of StarCraft, a big part of Alpha X and Psionic Aftermath. So much love to Nem. Thank you so much. Hope you had a good stream. Hope you had a good I said King of Thieves. Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves stream? Question mark? Are you still streaming Sea of Thieves, or maybe something else? But regardless, hope you had a great stream nonetheless, and thank you so much for the raid. For those that are tuning in, this is a StarCraft 2 tournament, SC2 tournament. We're here in the grand finals. Best of 5. It did just begin, and if you're in the chat, you know what time it is. It is Gamba time. Predictions are open. In the chat. You can place your bets on who you think will claim the series. Will it go to our Protoss player or our Zerg player? As YoungYakov does set up with the proxy hatchery here in the center of the map. We're mining through the patches. We're going for the all-in. So yeah, oh my god, let's go. He pulls the boys. Boys are being pulled to Maynard and to saturate the goal base, of course. Behind this, should be working on link speed into a link flood into a massive all-in as we work through these mineral patches. Oh boy, let's go. See if the we got the you were sailing the high seas. Let's go. Thank you so much. As from here, we have link speed on the way. You can see that YoungYakov, he pulls out of gas. He's going purely for a link flood. And he's working through that wall. Again, there's an entrance here into the natural base that is purely with minerals, so you have to pull the boys, pull some workers, I should say, to mine through those patches and to break in. As links are amassing. Yakov is gearing up. NightMare behind this, he's fully aware of what's happening. He's going for a robo opener. A bold choice here from NightMare. Bold choice. Going for the robo. No shield batteries. That's my biggest concern. There's no shield batteries behind this. Without shield batteries, I don't know if NightMare can actually hold. He's relying so heavily on this one adept to defend. To make sure that lings do not get in. But there's only 2 patches. Or really only 1. Here we go. The queen is waddling forward. More links are amassing. Link speed is almost done. We want to hit with link speed. NightMare going for the pylon inside the main. But is it too late because the boys have arrived? Yeah, we break through that door. The wall does open. Links, they flood in. The force field is not good enough. He gets us around. Okay, he surrounds the adepts. He surrounds the sentry. And we lose everything. Remember, no shield batteries. GG gets called. And YoungYakov, he will take game number 1. GG. Este NightMare. NightMare with a little bit of a misread based on the, I say misread, really confident and maybe overconfident and maybe having too much faith in the force field, in the sentry, and in the adepts as well. Because there were 2 adepts parked at the wall, if there was like 1 drone coming at a time, he could kill them, right? Ideally, you can one-shot. 2 adepts, they one-shot workers, so he can one-shot workers and stop the wall from being mined. But the problem is, there wasn't just 1 or 2 workers coming in. Yakov, he pulled like 6 drones. He pulled like 6 drones to mine through that wall, so despite the adepts being there, they could not stop the wall from going down. Likewise, the sentry arrived, but the force field was misplaced, and even then, I think the wall was wide enough that the force field did not even matter. GG, well played. So it was a really lean, a really crisp defense that NightMare was trying to go for, but in the end did fumble, and in the end YoungYakov takes a lead. Yakov does take a lead, and here we go. We're getting into game number 2, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Maganatha, we have the orange Protoss player, the South Korean Protoss representing Streamer Zone, down in the series. We'll see if he can bounce back in a longer standard game. It is NightMare. And spawning in the top side of Maganatha, we have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player leading the series 1-0. It is YoungYakov. Here we go. Now, when it comes to game 1, we saw the rush, we saw the flood, we saw the all-in. That was very specific to torches, because that map specifically has a mineral wall going into the natural base. Here, we have a standard setup. Here, there's no mineral wall, there's no potential for an all-in, not this early on, so we should be seeing a much more standard early game and a much more standard setup coming into game number 2. Remember, welcome to Maganatha. Maganatha, this is the largest map in the map pool, known for longer games, known for more mid to late gameplay as well. Not saying that YoungYakov won't go for an all-in, I believe he will, but it'll be a later all-in instead. I'm thinking 3 base. I'm thinking 3 base saturation, get up to 3 bases, get a 4th base just for larva, and then commit. Commit with Ling Hydra, or commits with, Ling Hydra, or maybe Roach Hydra instead. We'll keep an eye on YoungYakov. At the same time, NightMare, he's not the most standard player either. He's typically quite aggressive himself. I would say that NightMare thrives in the mid game, so we'll see if NightMare also goes for an earlier Twilight Council if he goes for earlier tech. But now everything's looking normal. Yakov, he's forced to expand at the unnatural natural, so a bit of a more awkward expansion location, but outside of that, he should be able to settle into his game without too much issue. This does mean that this area here, in between his 3rd base and in between his main base, is a little bit exposed, and Adepts can abuse this position. But he should be able to minimize losses and deal with it. As from here, we have Link Speed on the way. YoungYakov, he pulls out of gas. We're not rushing into a fast lair or anything crazy like that. To be fair, the last time we saw YoungYakov on this map, he did go for a Ling Queen all-in. True. Did do so against Gerald. Oh, as NightMare, he's in position. He blocks the expansion. Very annoying probe. Does delay the hatchery. Behind this, a Stargate opener out of NightMare. Stargate as a part of the wall. YoungYakov will confirm. Scouts with the Zergling. Oh! Does pull away. Does not get the probe. Probe survives. And Yakov, he's at least aware of the standard opener. From here, we should be seeing an Oracle. Oh, never mind. Void Ray opener. Okay. A little bit cheeky. Now, the purpose of a Void Ray opener is not to do economic damage. It's to do what? It's to hunt down Overlords. To hunt down Overlords. And what does that achieve? It means that YoungYakov will not be able to go for the Overlord scout into the main base. So what we're looking for is specifically to hunt down this scouting Overlord. If this Overlord goes down, then YoungYakov won't know what comes next. So NightMare, he's going for the initial Overlord pillar. This is the more standard location outside of the natural. But now NightMare expanding, claiming his 3rd, Void Race here to defend. And waiting for the Overlord. Behind this early Evo chamber, plus on melee out of YoungYakov, going into Ling Hydra or setting up for Ling Hydra. Ideally, he does want to skip roaches and skip banelings. We'll see if he can. Or at least skip roaches. Now you can see the Void Race hunting for the Overlord, and NightMare, it looks like he'll find it. Yeah, he will find the Overlord. Overlord goes in and runs into the Void Ray. So the Void Ray will deny the scouts. And for all YoungYakov knows, there could be a second star. I was like, for all he knows, there could be a second Stargate and a rush into Skytoss. Well, there is a second Stargate and there is a rush into Skytoss. Let's go. Ay, ay, ay. So this is worst case scenario for YoungYakov. He needs to figure out what's going on. +1 air attack is on the way. We're amassing up Void Rays. And we should soon be seeing a Fleet Beacon. Oh boy. Meanwhile, Yakov, he's going for the Baneling Nest. Okay, he's massing up 22 Zerglings. He may try to Bane Bust ahead of time. Yeah, he's going for the all-in. He's going for the all-in. He's walking queens across the map. He's going for the queen walk. He cuts workers at 46. This is what he did against Gerald, if you recall. Against Gerald on this map in the semifinals. He's going for the Link Queen all-in. And there's not much to defend back at home. Now, the downside of going into Void Rays like this, Void Rays have a much lower attack rate compared to Oracles. And there's only what? There's only one Oracle to defend. Usually there'd be 3, right? There'd be 2 to 3 Oracles here. And Oracles, they would shut down Ling Bane. Meanwhile, we're going into Mass Void Ray. Let's go. Mass Void Ray on the way. Oh no, the Oracle! The Oracle goes down. Yeah, miscontrol out of NightMare. Does miscontrol Banelings rolling in. Oh, likewise, Banelings, they crash into just one building. Yeah, some rough control there from YoungYakov. Despite that, NightMare is supply blocked. He cannot warp in. Just now breaking out. And it's all or nothing for YoungYakov. Can he break through? There's force fields. And there's a crash into the pylon. Ling J try to engage. Nice force fields. Zones away the Lings. Banelings, they try to get in, but they cannot. The SimCity here is just brutal. Yeah, this middle line is so safe. Once again, goes for another force field. Lings, they going for the Nexus, and the Nexus will go down. Queens take another Void Ray. Nexus falls. Does kill the base, but I believe NightMare should hold. Yeah, NightMare, he should hold on. I say that the Void Ray out of shield, out of energy. He's out of energy. The Queens. Up. Getting in the Void Ray, he can. Void Ray goes down. Down to 1. 1 Void Ray left. Behind this, Yakov. Lair is on the way. Drones are on the way. Yakov, he's done. He's droning. He's taking up. Now the question is, was this worth it? Yes, he killed a base. True. He killed an expansion. He killed 8 probes, but you can see 75 Zerglings, 4 queens, and everything else was delayed in favor of this. Remember, this was an all-in. This was an all-in, and that is why there's no lair, there's no Evo chamber, there's no upgrades, there's no gases, there's minimal droning. Yakov has a lot of catching up to do. That push had to kill. That was meant to kill. That was meant to kill NightMare, and it didn't. Didn't kill him, and now he's getting into his Void Rays. He's moving out. We have charge on the way, +1, more tech, more setup. NightMare's not in a bad position. And we'll see where YoungYakov takes us from here. Does he go for a second all-in? Or does he macro into the late game? What's the plan? For now, Void Rays at 9, another expansion. It's going to be a cancel. Does cancel the base. Yakov stuck on 4. Void Rays take it into the main. Not bad. 3 drone kills. No transfuse. Yeah, no transfuse. Queen is going to go down. Trades a queen for a Void Ray. Oh, no. Another queen. The queen cannot escape. And do we have any queens left over here? Yeah, late reaction. Late reaction out of YoungYakov. He did not react in time. He had too much faith in those 2 queens, and those 3 queens. And he's losing too much. Losing far too much here. 6 drones going down. Oof, brutal damage. Remember, YoungYakov didn't have a good economy to begin with. Now even worse. NightMare is pushing forward. Oh, running into Banelings. Nice splits. Very nice last second split. That was almost disastrous. Yeah, NightMare's just going for the kill. He's going for the kill. There's nothing to defend. The Banelings are late. Nice control, NightMare. He pulls away the Zealots, and oh, 1 Baneling connects, but only 1. And with that, NightMare, he just overwhelms. The Hydras, they do nothing. The Hydras are so vulnerable. And without any supports, they just go down. Until they break through, boys are being pulled. And we have a series. We have a series. GG gets called. NightMare ties it up. We have a back and forth. We're tied up 1-1. GG. Whew, GG, well played again. YoungYakov, he was all in. He failed to do critical damage. He killed the base, yes, but that didn't really matter. Didn't really matter as he himself had a very low drone count, very low setup, a very low tech setup, I should say. So he did not do enough damage with his all-in. He tried to transition out of it, but as you saw, it was a very shaky transition, losing so many drones to the Void Ray harass, losing his queens, and of course having no support for his army because it was re-droning and resaturating. Spending a lot of his lava on drones, less on army. And with that, we're now getting into game number 3. So far, we're tied up 1-1, and we'll see who takes the lead in the series. Let's go. Here we go. These Void Rays give me nightmares. Back in the day when we had 90% Void Ray openers. Yes, yes. That was a very dark time in StarCraft. That was back in 2020, 2021. The Void Ray meta was a dark time. Oh, no. Of course, since then, there were a lot of nerfs to the Void Ray, which is what shut that down, if you recall. The shield battery was changed. Like back then, if you remember, that was when you could morph in shield batteries and they would morph in with full energy. that was crazy. Which allowed for proxy Void Rays as well. That's one of the reasons why proxy Void Ray was very prevalent, because you could set up shield batteries to support them and go for like Tempest Rush that much faster as well. I believe, what were the nerfs? They increased the build time on the Void Ray, if I'm not mistaken, and I think they changed the cost as well. But here we go. We're getting into game number 3 and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Incorporeal, and of course they also changed to the shield battery. But we're going to be loading into Incorporeal. In the bottom right hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss for Streamer Zone. It is NightMare. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player, the red Zerg player himself. It is YoungYakov. Go. But yeah, it's StarCraft. It's been around for a long time. I mean, I feel like traditionally we would just refer to certain eras of StarCraft by their expansions, but Legacy has lasted so long that there are just so many phases within Legacy that had their own metas and had their own kind of styles. If you remember, like pylon rushing was the thing. That was crazy. Like talking about overcharging pylons, I mean. So you could cannon rush plus overcharge rush as well with pylons, with the mothership core. Crazy. There was the Nexus overcharge. That was also a thing. Yo, anyone remember Tankovax? That was crazy, Babby. That was crazy. I mean, it made for some entertaining games for sure. Tankovax and TVZ. Fuck it, that was busted. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people out there that don't appreciate what we have now, because I'm sure there's people even watching right now. There was a big influx of viewers and a big influx of players as well during the COVID era of StarCraft, like during EPT, like ESL Pro Tour, sorry, 2019 going into 2020. So they didn't experience any of that. They didn't. There are newer viewers of StarCraft that didn't experience like the beginning of Legacy, which was wild. Balancing Glaive Adepts, where Glaive Adepts would actually hit multiple targets. Oh no. Early Legacy was a time. As for now, Stargate opener. Stargate opener at NightMare. Opening up Stargate, going for the Oracles. For those that are aware, tankovacs is when you could pick up tanks. You could pick up a tank while it was sieged and unload it sieged as well. And there was no delay. So you just be hyper microing like tankovacs. It was insane. Oh no. It's crazy. As I do see YoungYakov going for a very fast layer. So my apologies, looking back into this game. Standard opener out of NightMare going for his own earlier Twilight Council. We'll see if this is going to be without a forge into early glaives. So NightMare is being a little bit cheeky here, but at the same time, YoungYakov going for, I believe this was around a 4-minute lair timing, so really early lair. Now, based on this lair timing, I'm anticipating this is going to be similar to what we saw against Gerald, going into Ling Hydra, into a Ling Hydra all-in without any, into a lair tech all-in without any upgrades. Yep, there it is, Hydra Den. If you were here for the semifinals, YoungYakov did this very same build against Gerald in the ace match on Persephone. This is the game where eventually he transitioned into lair tech lurkers, and he was able to hold position the lurkers outside behind the army and catch out all the stalkers. So same build here. And if you remember, the initial goal is to hit with purely Ling Hydra. The lurkers came out later because the game just kept going, and Gerald, he survived the initial aggression. So Yakov is going for an all-in. He should be getting a 4th base just for larva. And remember, no Eva chamber. That's a sign here, of course. There's no Eva chamber, no upgrades, no infestation bit, no lurker den, just pure Ling Hydra with only Hydra upgrades and Ling speed. So we're going to be cutting workers at 3 base saturation. I believe Yakov does get his 6th gas geyser with this, if I'm not mistaken. I believe he does get it towards the end. And it's on NightMare to scout. So far, NightMare, he sees the 4th base, goes into the main, sees the lair is done. He saw the lair earlier, and he will confirm, yeah, he sees the Hydra Den. He knows. So nice scout out of NightMare. He is aware of the Hydra Den. Behind this, Temple Archives is done. We need Storm. Storm is being chronoed. Storm is the win condition. If we can get into Storm, Storm will shut down everything that YoungYakov has. So Storm is on the way, and Yakov is on the timer. Let's go. Yakov is on the timer. We gotta send it here and now. Hydra speed kicks in. We have Hydra range on the way. Again, the goal here is to at least kill the expansion and at least get the mineral line. At least. Bouncing in, getting some of the Hydras. Sorry, getting some of the High Templar. Gets 1, gets 2. Gets 1 Templar go down. Nice snipes. Gets some of the Stalkers. Blink is not done. Massive timing here by YoungYakov. He strikes before Blink and before Storm. And with that, Storm is done in 10 seconds. There's 1 Templar that survives. 1 Templar left. Shield battery out of energy. Storm is done. We have 1 Storm. There's the engine. Oh no, the Templar gets sniped. Only 1 Storm. And Yakov is done. He's done. He has broken the back of NightMare. Just barely. This was a crazy timing. He hit like 10 seconds before Blink and 20 seconds before Storm. It was so close. It was so clutch. Just before the upgrades, and with that, NightMare couldn't hold. He could not hold on. He only had the 1 Storm, and I say that's going to be 26 probes going down. And NightMare, he's hanging on, but he already lost the economy. He lost the expansion. GG gets called, and YoungYakov takes the lead in the series. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, a very crisp ball in here from YoungYakov. He hit just in time. If he hit 10 seconds later, different story. But remember, he hit just before Blink and just before Storm as well. Really nice target firing there out of YoungYakov to focus on the High Templar. And even when Storm kicked in, it was insane to see the NG overcharge on the High Templar, and instantly the High Templar went down before the Storm. So very clutch, very tense. And with that, YoungYakov 1 game away from claiming the series. Uno más, papi, uno más. Tanks and side shuttles let me quit the game for some time. Oh no. Oh no. I mean, it was a very different meta, because back then, because tankovacs was so prevalent and so prominent, Ling being muted was still a thing, and emphasis on the muters to actually have that anti-air to stop drop play and to zone away metavacs and to be the counter to the tanks, of course. Because we'd see more tanks than Widow Mines because of the tankovacs. It was very, very different. Very different. It's crazy. But here we go. Here we go. We're getting into game number 4. game number 4 here, and in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the favorite player in this tournament, but he is down in the series. Can he bounce back and force the ace match? The South Korean Protoss for Streamer Zone, it is NightMare. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player himself leading the series 2-1, not from South Korea. It is YoungYakov. And again, so far it's been a very, very aggressive series. A very aggressive series here. We've seen a lot of aggression, a lot of all-ins from everyone involved. I mean, YoungYakov's gone for an all-in every game. Every single game. Game 1, we saw a link flood across the map on torches, with mining through the patches and making use of the goal base. Game 2, we saw a link queen all-in out of YoungYakov, which did fail to do damage, which was able to get the base, but only the Nexus did not get the mineral line and did not do enough damage. In Game 3, we saw the Ling Hydra all-in, which did hit just in time before Storm, before Blink. NightMare, he fought for his third base and he lost everything in the process. So the question is, are we running out of all-ins? That's what I'm getting at. We've seen 3 different all-ins out of YoungYakov so far. Some have succeeded, others have failed. Do we have something else? So far, Hatch Gas Pool, standard opener out of YoungYakov. Now, what haven't we seen? We haven't seen a Link Queen Nidus all-in. True, we haven't seen a Nidus all-in. We haven't seen Mutaplay, right? Standard opener into Mutaplay is more viable on Maganatha, and Mutaplay is not an all-in, but it is a way to catch your opponent with their pants down. Likewise, we could go back into Ling Hydra all-in. I wouldn't want to see it 2 games in a row, though, I'll be honest. Especially on Maganatha. Sorry, on Tokamak. Wouldn't be too fond of the idea. There are some roach-based all-ins that we could be going for as well, like a German taxi, but I would also say that, I mean, in general, all-ins are not favored on this map. Welcome to Tokamak. I should have started with that. Tokamak is the 2nd largest map in the map pool, but the most defensive map. The reason for this is because of these rocks. I mean, one of the many reasons. Typically, in a standard map, this area would be open. The area would be open, and the aggressing player can rotate between the triangular third, the natural, and the linear third base as well. You can rotate back and forth. Here it's fully sealed off, so there's only 2 entrances into 4 bases. Here towards the top side and here towards the south side. So only 2 entrances into 4 expansions. Likewise, there's a lot of high ground, a lot of choke points. So as the defending player, you can make your stand on the high ground and defend and shut down aggression if you see it coming ahead of time. And also the rush distance. True, the rush distance is also quite long on this map. So there's a lot that works against all-ins. You can still all-in, they can still work, but it's just a little bit more difficult to pull off here. It's more difficult. As NightMare does threaten the shade to adepts, they can one-shot workers. YoungYakov's still droning. Ooh, overreaction. Yeah, Yakov, calm down. Bit of an overreaction. Does flinch against the adepts. Behind this fast evo chamber, this tells us it's going to be fast +1 melee, so it's going to be a Ling heavy style. No roaches, or most likely no roaches. So this is leading into Ling Hydra. Meanwhile, we do have a fast Twilight Council. Okay. A fast council here after the third base. With this, we can go into early Blink or early Glaives. We'll see. Glaives or Blink are on the table. Banelin S gets hidden behind the main base. It looks like a Ling Bane bust. As you typically would be hiding that tech, or even getting it this early. That's a shade in. So Fire gets 1 drone, double stage trap here behind the mineral line. Will connect with the queens. Oh, does get 2. Does catch 2 queens, but does not get the mineral line. Drones are survive. They do survive. They do make it out unscathed. And YoungYakov, he's drone up to 46. So he's up to around 2 base saturation, or under 3 base. Under 3 base saturation. Oh god. As drones are going down. Banelin S is done. +1 is halfway done as well, and I believe we should be making nothing but links. But we'll see. We have a couple of drones being squeezed out. Yeah, a couple of workers. Yep, here it comes. Queens are pushing forward. We have 26 lings in production. We're going for the Ling, Bane, Queen all in. My queens are walking. Behind this NightMare, he knows. Yeah, he knows. He throws down a wall of shield batteries. We have 3 shield batteries here at the third base. More shield batteries here at the natural. So a nice scout from NightMare. He's preparing. Blink is not going to be done. Not yet. And Yakov, he wants to surround those stalkers. Nice SimCity, he fully walls off. Ooh, the wall gets broken. And he's going for the mineral line. He's going for the probes. There's a Stasis trap, Stasis gets baited. Nice control. Blink is still not yet done, and nice Stasis once again. Yeah, Bane's getting caught out. Yeah, we're running out of lings. Running out of ground army. Queens are being targeted. Gets 1 queen. Gets 1, gets 2. And nice target firing. Blink is almost done. But here comes a wave of lings. There's Blink. Blink just barely competes in time, and NightMare, he's holding. NightMare, he's holding on. Bailey's, they break out of the Stasis trap, but they break out so late. And every queen goes down. Down go all the queens. Nice target firing. NightMare, he pulls back in. He knows he's defended. He knows he has defended. And NightMare, he's running away with this game. Again, so crucial that NightMare, he scattered. He saw the army. He saw the all-in. He responded with a wall of shield batteries, with a wall of gateways, with Stasis traps as well. It was a last-second defense, but pulled it off. NightMare does pull it off. And Yakov is falling further behind. This is what? This is a 7-minute lair timing. Jeez, it's so late. Such a late lair. Late gases, +1 range. Everything is delayed. A late 4th base. And this should go to the ace match. There is a chance, of course, always, if NightMare, if he makes mistakes. If he overextends, if he has some late reactions, like, there is a chance, of course, for YoungYakov to recover. But you never want to be in a game state where you're hoping your opponent makes mistakes. Right? That's the goal here. That's the hope. As NightMare's just turtling up. Oh, good. Just turtling up back at home and getting a 4th. I mean, hey, this, as we mentioned, like, this map, it's harder to go for all-ins on Tokamak and easier to defend on 4 bases, as there's only 2 attack pods. Just here and here. Just 2 attack pods to worry about. NightMare's even just pushing out. Yeah, why not? He's got Storm, he has 6 High Templar, he's got at least 6 Storms. Looks like at least 7 Storms. So we have 1 High Templar with just full energy. Here, and NightMare does move in. Oh god, a little bit trigger happy here with the Storms. That was 340. Better Storms towards the end, but in the beginning he did rapid fire, and he will lose every single High Templar. NightMare. This is maybe the best fight that YoungYakov could have hoped for, but it's still not going to be enough. Wow, still not enough. Again, NightMare, he did fumble that fight by just rapid firing so many Storms. But despite that, still takes it, still breaks through the main army, gets on top of the base. Yeah, with that YoungYakov, he will lose the expansion, he'll lose the army. We have 1 more Templar left. Do zone away. Storms will attempt to zone. Prism does overextend. Again, NightMare, he's been having some really shaky fights here. And NightMare forced to back off. Now, a couple of things. On the one hand, Yakov did take better trades. That's true. He did take some better fights. NightMare did kind of fumble some of those engagements. But behind this, YoungYakov, he's still trying to redrone, still trying to resaturate. The economy is still not quite there. The tech isn't quite there either. Remember, there's no Lurker Den, there's no Hive. Yakov is stuck with the Lair Tech army. He's going for a second wave, a second all-in. Stage Drive connects. Storm with the Banelings. They get in. Ooh, Banelings do connect. High Templar go down. YoungYakov, he does get the best fight possible here. Takes out every High Templar. But he needs links. He needs Zerglings. We need as many Zerglings as possible. He needs those reinforcements. There's another Stasis. Storm is coming in. Ooh, Stasis goes off. Saves the saves the Hydrisk. They're saved by the storm. Sorry, by the Stasis. Lings, they arrive late. And Yakov is still just trying to kill NightMare. Now there's 2 Templar. Stasis runs out. Ooh. A bit of miscontrol there from YoungYakov. As he bleeds out all those Hydras. Let's force out a Storm. Bailey's nice connections. There's still not enough there. Yeah, there's barely not enough. It's still quite close. Archon goes down. We have the Zealot Warp in, and without Banelings, these Zealots, they dominate. These Banelings are morphing in. The longer this goes on, the better it is for NightMare. Time is on his side. There's 5 Templar. Jesus. So one guy's on the way. Another Stasis. Let's force out an Archon. Ooh, stands in the Storm. Yeah, brutal Storm. Zealots are warping in. Without Banelings, there's no defense against the Zealots. Another Storm. Brutal fight here for Yakov. Zealots take it across the map. There's nothing to defend. There's nothing at home. Every drone is going down. Yakov, he's being crippled. And again, NightMare, he should run away with this. Cleans up every Hydra. GG gets called, and we are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. We're going all the way to game 5. Again, we saw some shaky fights out of NightMare, so even though NightMare had a massive lead after the failed all-in, Yakov was able to make a game out of that. He was able to fight back and threaten his opponents. There was definitely a chance, there was definitely opportunities there for him, but in the end, NightMare did survive, did hold, and with that, we're going all the way to the ace match. Going to game 5. Here we go. Bang Queen Walk, this looks cool. If you remember, he did the same build against Gerald in the previous semis. Let's see it against Gerald. Here we go. Or was it game 1? No, not game 1. I mean, I guess kind of game 1. Here we go. Here we go. We are getting into the ace match. Game 5, going to be loading into Pylon. We're loading into Pylon. Pylon is known for aggression. Pylon has a much shorter rushes by ground, much shorter, and is a little more open as well. So we're expecting an all-in here. Whether it works or not, I mean, we're about to find out. As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Pylon, we have the orange Protoss player. We have the South Green Protoss representing Streamer Zone, fighting back and tying up the series at 2-2. It is NightMare. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player. We have the red Zerg player himself, being forced into the ace match. We'll see what he has up his sleeve this time. It is YoungYakov. Here we go. And again, welcome to Pylon. Pylon has a very short rush distance. Pylon is one of, if not the smallest map in the current map pool. Short rush distance by ground, very direct as well, known for all-ins, known to favor aggressive builds. You can see here, as we were pointing out on Tokamak, how there are rooks in between the bases, in between the third and fourth base. Here, no rooks. Here it is open, of course. Here, there's no ramp coming into this triangular third base either, so this position is more accessible to an aggressing player, an aggressing army. Likewise, here on the right-hand side, there are multiple entrances into this expansion as well, and of course, you can just ignore this base and just go straight for the natural instead. So we often do see all-ins here, and it goes both ways. We see aggression from Zerg, we see aggression from Protoss as well. So we'll see who's going to be the aggressor here in the final game. In the ace match, let's go. And again, a big shout out to YoungYakov, because already he excelled and he achieved so much making it to the finals, even in the finals against NightMare, to go all the way to the ace match. Very, very impressive play. I mean, it has been non-stop all-ins, but I mean, that's what we see from even the best Zerg players in the world. His non-stop all-ins in EVP. I'm looking at Shin, looking at Solar. Duh. But here we go. Here we go. Based on the hatchery being taken as well, we can actually start spinning creep. So this could be the beginning of a German taxi. We haven't seen a German taxi yet in this series, true. We haven't seen one yet, but you can make this queen. You can use the initial energy for a first tumor, and you can start to spread creep immediately across the map to get ready to go for a roach base all-in with some overlords, with some queens. That's a possibility, of course. It's something that we see a lot of on Ultra Love. See if we see it here. As the probe is going to be zoned away. Queen does inject, does not spread creep. Link speed on the way, and we're pulling out of gas. And so far, everything's looking normal. Stargate opener out of NightMare. Tumor is thrown down. Can we protect the tumor? Tumor gets spotted. Roll cloak. Will conceal itself in time. Two adepts they get into the main base. No queen! No shot. There's no queen in the main. Getting one drone so far, denying mining time. Brutal position here for YoungYakov. And he's going for it. Yeah, he's just going across. Oh no, he does go across the map. He does catch the Oracle. Nice interception. The Oracle gets very low. But the Spore isn't done. Wow, the Spore isn't done. The punish is real. Drones are going down, and YoungYakov is all in. He's all in. It's going to be a Link Queen walking across the map. He does. The tumor does help, of course, but so many drones are falling. So much mining is being denied. This will impact the all-in. It does make it weaker. And NightMare is walling up. He has a full wall back at home. 2 shield barriers on the way. Oracle is activated. The Oracle is activated. Out of energy. Forced to back. We are going to be sniping the Cybercore. Not bad. Backup Cybercore's on the way in the main. Now we can only warp in Zealots. Only slow lots. Behind this Yakov drones? Ooh, okay. Bold move. Yakov, he's droning. He does not believe he can break this. I mean, I don't believe either. So Yakov, he pulls back. Now, what did he achieve here? He killed the Cybercore, true. He contained, and he denied the third base, also true. Should deny for a second time. Keeping the Protoss on 2 bases, but NightMare is going into 2 base, what? 2 base glaive adepts. We have 5 gateways already here, so 5 gate glaive adepts. That's a lot of adepts. I mean, he's going to kill one of his gateways, so 4 gates. And what does YoungYakov have? Oh god, he still has no Spore in the mineral line of the natural. Here for the stasis. Yakov pulls away. Ooh, has nice control. Using one worker. Here comes a lair for YoungYakov. Pokes in, gets us around. Not bad. Sounds the adepts. Gets 1, 2, 3, 4 adepts. Just barely. And he sees all the rest. Now, I'll be honest, YoungYakov is going to try to defend with purely Link Queen. It's a pure Link Queen defense, no SimCity. Yakov should die here. Like, this should be over. Adepts are moving in, they shade into the mineral line. More drones are falling, and it's only Queens to defend against this. They attempt to surround. Adepts, they start to step back, they shut down the Lings, they shade into the main, and more drones are falling, and this is critical damage. GG gets called, and a NightMare. He will claim the series 3-2 and become this week's Sparkling Tuna Cup champion. GG. GG, well played. Congratulations here to NightMare as he does claim the series again. YoungYakov, he did attempt the Link Queen all-in at the start of the game, the Link Queen walk, but as you saw, so much economic damage. So much damage was done. So much damage was done economically due to the Adept harass and the Oracle harass as well. This weakened the all-in. This made sure that there were less Lings, that there was a delayed push as well. Everything was just worse there for YoungYakov because of the Adept harass, because of the Oracle harass as well. So a very strong start for NightMare. On top of that, he wasn't just harassing, he also confirmed the all-in, right? He confirmed the all-in with his harassment, so he was able to deal damage and also had the information to defend on 2 bases, to not expand and to work towards Glaive Adepts. When it came to the follow-up here, again, without Banelings and without Roaches, without one or the other, it's so difficult to defend against Glaive Adepts, and we often do see Zerg players, even Serral dies to Glaive Adepts as well. We've seen that between Serral and Hero, for example, and it can be difficult if you're unprepared, if you don't scout, and if you're not ready for it. GG all played. I mean, even then, like, after a failed all-in, there's no way for YoungYakov to be ready for it because he had a stifled economy, because he wasn't droning, and because he was losing workers as well. So everything was just going south there for YoungYakov, and the stars do align for NightMare. GG well played. Congratulations to NightMare. But I don't want to take away from YoungYakov, because if you look at the bracket here, !B in the chat to have a look at the back yourselves, this was a crazy performance. From the beginning, Yakov, he 2-0s Wayne. He takes down ByuN 2-1. Very impressive. He takes down Gerald 2-1. Impressive as well. And he goes all the way to the ace match against NightMare. This was a crazy performance. Like, again, ByuN was favored. Gerald was favored. NightMare was favored in the sense that we expect like 2-0s, maybe we have a bit of a back and forth somewhere, but yeah, for Yakov to take all of these matches, really impressive play there. GG well played. Now, to be fair, a lot of this was reliant on all-ins. True, a lot of all-ins against NightMare, against Gerald, and against ByuN as well. But what I was most impressed by was some of the late game that YoungYakov revealed. Not in this series, but in the previous series. I do highly recommend watching YoungYakov versus ByuN on Persephone. That was maybe the game of the tournament. If you missed it, I highly recommend it to see some late game ZVT with YoungYakov working with maxed out armies, with a split map scenario, with Mass Ultra. We saw that as well against Geralt. We did see some late game from YoungYakov against Geralt as well. So yes, we saw purely all-ins against NightMare, but against Geralt and against ByuN, YoungYakov did mix in some more macro play. That's what I will say. So I do recommend checking it out. Otherwise, GG, well played. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And with that, let's catch up here. I feel like he kind of had to all-in as Zerg against us. I mean, that is the meta right now. That is the meta right now. For the most part, I say for the most part, Serral, of course, is the exception, and it's not like Serral does like embrace late game against Protoss. That's not true. If you watch Serral versus Classic, Serral, he has a way of playing where he just makes sure he gets into the mid to late game ahead. Like, he does critical damage early on, he gains a lead, he's greedy, he has an advantage getting into a late game, and then he leverages that advantage as well. So Serral, he does kind of like, he takes a bit of a different approach, more so than any of the others. But regardless, GG well played. And with that, congratulations to NightMare. He's going to be this week's Tuna Cup champion. And of course, this is a weekly tournament. If you enjoyed the cast, if you enjoyed the tournaments, then this is a weekly tournament on a regular basis every single week. Typically it's on Sundays. Typically it's going to be on Sundays, but if you remember, this week it was on Tuesday. Why was it on Tuesday? Because of RSL. The Revival StarCraft League RSL was over the weekend. We were focusing, we were covering that series, so because of that, Tuna Cup was on a Tuesday instead. That's the reasoning for that, is because it was clashing with other tournaments that we were otherwise covering instead. So whenever there's a clashing in our schedule, we do typically move it from Sunday to Tuesday, just as a heads up. Also, shout out to NightMare for becoming our champion and for winning the raffle as well. True. Does also win the raffle. And very quickly, you can see our schedule for the rest of the week. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be live with the Pigasus Cup. Pigasus Cup is going to be tomorrow morning. That's going to be at 9 a.m. KC. That's going to be at 10 a.m. AEST. That's going to be in around 10.5 hours. In around 10.5 hours time is going to be Pigasus Cup. Meanwhile, tomorrow evening, we have Little League Cup. We have the Podcast on Thursday. We have MSO on Friday and Maestros of the Game on Saturday. As you can see here, our schedule is a little bit leaner. If you're curious, if you may be tuning in for the first time, we cast more StarCraft than anyone else out there. More than Wardy, more than Steadfast. We have the most hours clocked into StarCraft over the past, like, what, almost 5 years. But now we're in the off season of EWC, and now we're slowing things down. Usually we're live twice a day. Every single day, with a morning cast and an evening cast. And technically, I could make that happen here as well. I could make it happen, but it would be nice to sleep a little bit. It would be nice to sleep, so we're slowing things down to 1 cast a day. You can see that Sunday is open at the moment. We do plan on hosting a cast as an event there as well, just as a heads up. But currently our schedule is a little bit more open here, with casting like once a day, sometimes twice a day, every now and then. But now that we enter the off season, I did want to slow things down a little bit at least, coming into the rest of the year of 2025. I say that there's still a lot of tournaments around the corner. There's still Starfest, there's still SC for All, there's Safe House, Home Story Cup around the corner coming into the end of the year, coming into 2026. And of course, season 3 of RSL is in November. So a lot of content, a lot of StarCraft still on the horizon. We're just trying to take things a little bit easier here coming into the off season. But of course, we'll still be running our events on a regular basis and still having 1 cast a day at least, or sometimes multiple times a day, as you can see here. Just gonna be live a little bit less than we're used to seeing. A little bit less, papi. Yeah. Sleep what? Crazy, I know. Crazy. With that, we have our top... Oh, true, we have our top 8. Oh, who's our top 8? Do we have... Is the Wikipedia page updated? Do we have our page? Can I show that off? Oh, okay, we can. So for those that are curious, for this month and for the rest of this year, our Tuna Cups, our weekly tournaments, actually provide points leading into the monthly finals. For the first time for the Tuna Cup, we have a monthly finals that is going to be right around the corner here on the 30th of September next week. Next week is not an open cup. Next week is an invitational. Is going to be a monthly tournament, and we do have our confirmed players. Exclamation mark B in the chat will take us to Wikipedia. But one moment here as I do show off the brackets. Bam. Beautiful. There we go. Okay, so this is Sparkling Tuna Cup monthly September. This is the September edition. September finals here for Sparkling Tuna Cup 2025. We have our September finals, and scrolling down, we have our monthly rankings. We have in first place as #1 seed, we have NightMare. NightMare, he was able to get into the quarterfinals in STC 105. Last week, he made it to the finals, and this week, he was our champion. So here we go. We have first place, second place, and third/fourth place as well. So NightMare comes out in #1 place. Meanwhile, following him, we have Creator. Creator, he got top 3. Or he came third place, or he came top 3/4, I believe. Un momento. Oh wait, no, sorry. I think for SCC 105, that is round of 8, right? Yeah, that's round of 8. So he made it to the round of 8 in 105. Here, Creator, he got top 4 in Sparkling Tuna Cup 106, and he got second place in 107. Am I misreading this? The other way around. Oh, the other way around. My apologies. was able to get 3 points here in 106. I believe that is second place. There we go. And I believe that is top 4 because it's 2. But he got top 4 here in this week's tournament. Meanwhile, Hero, he came first place in 105. Solar came first place in 106. So they do lock themselves in. So we have NightMare, Creator, Hero, Solar. ByuN, he makes it in. He was able to get into second place here for 105, and he was able second only to Hero, and of course was able to get top 8 in 107. We then have Gerald, Nicorette, and YoungYakov barely makes it through towards the end, edging it out over Percival and Rebellion. You can see here YoungYakov with this week's performance, with this second place, does actually outperform Percival and Rebellion. GG, well played. 1 second place, all you need, papi, all you need. So we have our top 8. It's going to be NightMare, Creator, Hero, Solar, ByuN, Gerald, Nicorette, and YoungYakov. We'll be reaching out to all these players, inviting them. If there is a player that is unable to compete on the day, then they'll be replaced most likely by Percival and Rebellion. Just as a heads up. You can see all the other players here. You can see Shin, Akedon, Hacker's Top, Shameless, and Showtime as well. So again, if a player is unavailable, then we'll be working down this list and inviting other players. Percival, Rebellion, Shin, Akedon, likewise as well. Oh boy. When it comes to the monthly finals, it is going to be a 500 USD prize pool, so a hefty prize pool for the monthly finals. It is going to be a single elimination bracket here as well. I believe the format is we're going to be covering the quarterfinals, two matches in quarterfinals, and bam, semis, and then grand finals thereafter. Oh boy. So a lot of matches going to be taking place. And yeah, it's gonna be a first for us, a first for the monthly finals. Let's go. So look forward to that. It's going to be next week. Otherwise, thanks for watching. Thank you for the support. And if you want to help us grow the Sparkling Tuna Cup and allow for these to be more regular, you can do so via Patreon. !Patreon in the chat. You can see our link in the chat. If you wish, all the money on Patreon currently goes towards our tournaments, goes towards the prize pool for these events. We do have our next goal. Our next goal should be to actually start paying admins and paying casters. Let's go. But likewise, you can help us grow it even further to start actually making these monthly finals a regular thing coming into 2026. Right now, it's special for this year because we got a massive donation in the chat. We had a massive $2,000 donation, and that pays for 4 monthlies. That's going to be September, October, November, December, 4 monthlies, 500 USD each. And again, a very generous donation. That's why we have these monthly finals. If we can grow our Patreon to be able to afford that as well, then we can do this on a regular basis into next year as well. So help us grow the Patreon. Thank you so much for all the support. We appreciate it. Thank you so much, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for some more StarCraft. Until then, thanks for watching. Until then, ciao, papi, ciao. See you next time.